in the ocean blue. Stripes and spots, they rule the tide. Water dogs of the deep, they don't hide. In the river's grip, seas endless bounty. Ruling the waves, dolphin Illuminati. Praised by Romans, gods to the Greeks. Underwater rulers, the power peaks. In ocean depths, their counts to 6. Dolphins in the dark, never calling it quits. Striped and spotted in the sea's domain. Aquatic dogs in their own insane lane. Through rivers they ride, seas they roam. In the ocean depths, they make their home.
Well, I talk about insanity, which is what's going on in your mind, and outside, which is where you communicate with those outside. As you know, if you give too much of your insanity, they'll lock you up. I tried giving as much as I could. They didn't lock me up. They published it, paid me.
Dolphin, Illuminati. Deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. Deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati.
Spread the word with propaganda packs, all for just $40 shipped at paranoidamerican.com.
Paranoid propaganda packs. We got facts on these sticker slaps. So grab yourself a stack and go attack with these paranoid propaganda packs.
These huge all-weather slaps will last in public for years to come. Remind citizens that birds are not real. Self-immolation is an option, and might make you magnetic. Do your part and get a propaganda pack today from paranoidamerican.com.
Yeah, paranoid propaganda packs. We got facts on these sticker slaps. So grab yourself a stack and go attack with these paranoid propaganda packs.
What are you waiting for? Go to paranoidamerican.com right now and get a paranoid propaganda pack.
Energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. Bitch, wanna step to me. If you wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
Transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I really had a big like a llama. I whip that beat out like Michael Obama.
We already had it with
I got that
Obama.
big
So
energy.
let's just calm down.
Nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. I'm a girl, 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 I'm a whip the thing out like Michael Obama. I got that big energy. Ain't nobody wanna step like me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. Ain't got that clip, bitch. Hung like a llama. I whip that dick out like Michael Obama. I wanna be rich, but not self-rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches, its clicks getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches if Clinton's getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. Wiki leaking out, you dove into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth rich. We wanna be rich, but not Seth rich.
Britney Spears, can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, makings, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, makings, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up yourselves, good guys, and welcome back to another episode. Donut is joining us tonight, and hopefully Layla's sound is good. No. I can't hear you. Layla, are you on mute?
Maybe she can hear us now, but we can't hear her. The show is officially started.
Yeah, so it's perfect. Abbie should be here in a second. She says Google is blocking restream for her tonight. So everybody who's made it here so far and anyone that joins us soon, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. How are you guys?
Doing good.
I'm bigging up.
Bigging up yourself. How's the world been in the last week?
It's been wild, and I gotta catch y'all up on everything going
Please.
on. I mean, we are about to enter like every single day. I don't know that I went on Twitter, and I've had a horrible month. I signed up for Twitter, and
that whole thing, the whole yeah.
but the thing is like I play a part in Twitter because I don't have to log into it and go on it, but I do. So there's something like addicting about the cortisol addiction that comes with the evil entity of Grok. It's a very Grokavelian entity that lives within Twitter, the AI. And people in the future will be connected to this Twitter through the Grok, through the butthole, into the Neuralink, into the brain, and everyone will be communicating with each other on Twitter, complaining.
It does kind of seem like that. Like they purposely, like, I don't follow people, but it thinks like, you know what will be good for you for Chaney? like We Heart Kamala page. Why on earth would anything in my algorithm make you think that? And it's because they purposefully want to get us against each other. They're trying to pit us against each other. So everything in my algorithm is like, oh, here's a World Series of everything Chaney hates. And that'll just trigger me and just make me write back and just make me interact with this demon. And
then all of your friends will see that triggers you.
Yeah, they're all like, oh, this is the thing. She's hot about this. For some reason, I didn't realize it triggered me so much, but I do realize any person that thinks, oh, a weight class, that should be good enough. A girl and a guy in a weight class, that should be good enough. It lets me know either they've never done an athletic skill once in their life, or they've gotten handled really softly by men their entire existence, or both. But just the idea that people think that women that are 135 pounds can compete with men just because they happen to be 135 pounds is absurd to me. It's absurd, the amount of people that think this. And they're like, oh, well, all sports should just be co-ed. If all sports could be co-ed, they would be already. There wouldn't be women's sports. The only reason there's women's sports is because women cannot compete with men in a physical activity at all. Is there exceptions to the rule? Sure. We're not arguing with those here. That's a silly way to argue. And so I just am like, this is so wild, the amount of people in the world that believe women can compete with men.
I don't know.
It's
My sister got some legs. And when I was younger and we used to fight, she used to, them legs would take me out every time.
But right now, you could just snap her head off her neck. That's what I feel like. Most women are just walking around. Most men can just snap your head off your neck while you're just walking like they're a vampire and you're interview with a vampire. They're Lestat and they can just twist your neck off. Most men can do that to most women all of the time. And there's laws or morals that stop that from happening.
I'm going to stand out on a ledge and say I'm anti snapping off women's heads.
Oh, that's sweet.
So just so you guys know, I'm an ally on this big like pro and anti head snapping off of women. I'm an ally.
I'm an ally. Once you become anti it, then it gives it kudos.
So big D, what the song that you guys have playing about Michelle?
Big Mike.
We need that to be in a campaign song at some point. That would be the next level.
Well, there was some news that came out, top thing on Drudge Report, that it says hers is bigger than his, and it's just a picture of Kamala. And they'd be doing this all the time. When Biden pulled out of the election, it's all symbolism, because Congress, Latin, means to come together. It was the hardest decision of Joe Biden to pull out. That's what it said.
And if you know anything about Biden's, they don't usually pull out.
It was hard for the big guy to pull out.
I could show you the screen.
He just wanted to pull out 15%.
Oh, nice. You can see my screen?
Yeah.
So this was on the Drudge Report. Like, it's like the top thing. So I've been collecting slides of the symbolism. Obama was talking about the crowd size. I don't know. I feel like this is a kind of a low, like, hanging fruit for the Democrats to be using. I thought it was like sexual symbolism, like the MasterCard and whatnot. But
also the Vesica Pisces has the MasterCard. So it's also the, like, where you see the Washington Monument stand, the Vesica Pisces is below it. So it could be the balls, or it could be ovaries, or it could be both. But I definitely think all the stuff is funny where they're like, look at his was bigger than her, or hers is bigger than his. And, you know, the amount of people that viewed it and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, well, I mean, to be fair, for the Republican National Convention and a lot of the Republican stuff, a lot of the mainstream media doesn't even play it. So most of the people I would say that watched it probably watched it on YouTube, on Rumble, on some kind of internet, Twitter, or like X, whereas most of the Democratic people probably watched it on their CNN and MSNBC and all the same stations that have been telling them what they want to hear for the last 5 years. Like they're all sitting there with half a stroke, like, oh my God, I met a friend with half a stroke too. I can't believe we have so much in common. I can't believe all these ailments are happening to us. And it's like you both took the things we're not allowed to talk about on this channel because of YouTube. But I don't know.
I thought it was funny. I wanted to share that.
They always want to talk about Donald Trump's little hands. And like that he'd be like, oh, them talking about his penis. He's really pissed about this.
Yeah. And like they made a movie about him before the attempt on 713 about him doing, I can't even, there's so many words you can't say around this topic, about Trump forcefully having naughty time, got a standing ovation at Cannes Film Festival right before the 713 event.
What ones are you not allowed to say? What's the 713 event?
His assassination attempt.
Oh, you can use that one. I haven't been warned about yet. The things we are not allowed to say anything about is anything to do with Dr. Fauci.
Maybe even his name.
Yeah, maybe that's the last time we say his name. But that's really the stuff we get in most amount of trouble for, unless Abbie decides to be naked, and then we get in trouble for nudity.
I'd never bring up that guy's name.
Just call him Voldemort.
It's this right here. Did you hear about Beyonce? Like all the big news reports were saying that she was going to perform at the DNC.
Yeah, and then she didn't show up.
It was, I think that they knew RFK was going to move over. So they just were like, oh, how can we scare him somehow? But I don't know why she wouldn't show up. She showed up a couple times with Jay-Z.
Oh, I think it was 2016 election for Hillary DJT in Miami. Hillary had a huge concert like the week before with Jay-Z and Beyonce, and like it was pretty much like a Grammy award show. And people are like, whoa, look at all the people Hillary pulls at a convention. But and now thinking of all this and what the Democrats have done, and even how they had like Lil Jon and these other performers, I always wondered at all the Trump rallies I went to, gosh, he has all these fans. Like I would even take Kid Rock. Why doesn't he ever have any performers at his rallies? And now I see that he doesn't need them. Like the whole point of him not ever having an opening act is he never needed anyone to fill the room, whereas they need all these pop stars to constantly fill the room.
Yeah, because it becomes a concert. So let's go, right?
Yeah, it's basically an event that you would go to, and like he is the concert, he is the headliner band, and he doesn't really need any opening acts.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my Lil Jon slide that I had.
Layla, testing. Let's test it. Nothing?
Ugh, it's such a Mercury retrograde.
It's got to be something.
She can hear all of us.
It's probably the headphones, like in the settings.
Yeah, in the setting.
Mess around with that, with the audio output and input and whatnot.
In the settings inside Restream, like the same way mine, even though my camera, I have to go through that and then separate my audio from my microphone. Thanks, Lesby. Jay, ladies' night is on Sundays. Tonight is Friday free-for-all.
Are we announcing anything about the new thing?
I know. Do you want to yet, or you want to wait for a minute?
Oh, we'll wait. We'll wait.
Yeah, wait until we'll build up. We'll build up, but there will be an announcement tonight, and you guys will have exclusivity.
Announcement?
Well, yeah. There'll be where we have an announcement of stuff coming, and then you guys are gonna do a preview of stuff to come.
Yeah, we got all kinds of exclusives tonight.
Yeah, all the kinds of hot exclusives tonight. But I really need Layla's microphone to work.
Oh.
Because it just feels not like we're not all here yet. Like we're all waiting to take our acid once Layla gets here.
I'm about to take my antibiotics.
Antibiotics. Make sure you take probiotics as well.
Sounds way less fun.
I got root canal in my face. My teeth
Oh
fall
no.
out. Yeah. It's bad.
A root canal. Those are supposed to be bad for you.
I had it for a long time.
You've been having root canals for a long time?
The infected one, yeah. When I went in Florida, my face was like I had an infection and so it was spreading into my face, which could be deadly. So I'm lucky that I'm working on getting it fixed.
Oh, good. Yeah, teeth problems are the worst.
Yeah, they are.
And especially if you're sober, teeth problems are the worst. Because everything, even old school, that they'd give you, any kind of like relief of it. And so when you're not messing around with any of it and you just have to meditate into the pain of your mouth is a lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm in no pain.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And I can handle the pain. I enjoy getting Novocaine in the face.
You do?
That's so weird.
Oh my! It is. Like I hate Novocaine.
Some people like getting tattoos. I enjoy getting Novocaine.
That's the worst part of dental work for me. Like, and then I have teeth that like I maybe because I'm kind of naturally redheaded. Like when they give me Novocaine, it doesn't always work. So then they have to give me more and give me more, and I'll be numb for like 10 hours. So I got to the point now where they'll give me one, and then it'll hurt the whole time. And like I don't say anything. I just let them do it. Cause I'm like, it'll be over quick. It'll be over quick. I just deal with it.
I hate Novocaine.
I just hate how you like drool the rest of the day, and you can't tell, but you can like feel the water just like. Without getting too graphic, that's like the worst part of it for me is that you can't feel your face anymore. And I guess that's the part that Donut likes because he's a psycho.
No, I like the pain part of the.
Oh, the initial injection? That's even weirder.
That's the worst part. I know.
Yeah, get a tattoo.
What's wrong with me? I don't want.
Have you ever thought about getting your gums tattooed? I hear that's like one of the more painful ways you can go about it.
Yeah, my friends got like the lips and stuff, but I'm Jewish. I can't get a tattoo.
Not even your teeth?
I think you can get your teeth tattooed.
Well, there you go, bro.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Get a little hatchet man on your front tooth. That would be so dope.
That would be dope.
Or you could just get like a cap with it on there and then just put the cap with the hatchet man on your tooth. So that way you don't really have to do anything.
So my tattoo story, I've been trying to get, I even went to the tattoo shop and yelled at the guy because he wouldn't give me my tattoo. And I was like, I don't know how old I was. I think I was 19 at that time. I've been trying to get a tattoo forever and it just never happened or worked out.
That's funny. They wouldn't tattoo you at 19?
No, I was, long story short, the guy was on meth and he wouldn't do it. I'm happy he didn't do it because it was the stupidest tattoo. And then my cousin was like, yo, because I was going to get the hatchet man right here and I was going to get Juggalo like right here or something like that.
I'm so glad you didn't.
I was going to. I was 100%. That's what I'm doing. What? Like, I was all in.
Like, stop me.
and then I guess my family or God or something intervened and had my cousin be like, yo, little donut, if you want this tattoo, just wait a year. And then on this day, on that year, go get it. And so every time I want a tattoo, I do that. And there's nothing I want. Maybe a dolphin. Speaking of dolphin.
You should get a dolphin.
Is your microphone, can you come in through your other mic and not your that mic? What about without ears? What about if you just hear us in the computer? It's so weird it's not working. It doesn't even make any sense.
Wait, the headphones or the microphone, huh?
Yeah. Well, she has a microphone too. We can't hear you.
Okay, so you have a microphone and
We can't hear her in any of her. We can't hear her in any option.
Okay. Go to your settings, Layla. You're there up in the settings, and you already did it.
You have tuned into the tech support edition of Secret Society of Good Guys.
Our audience, they're patient because they want to hear you. So even if we have to take a few minutes to figure it out, let's figure it out.
Oh, you know what else you could do? Unplug and plug back in. You probably already did that though.
Or what about
or
unplug
restart?
all the way?
I had to restart. That's why I was
kind of
late.
cool though. Like we could just like have her talk. Like
she should say something. We should all guess what she said.
Yeah, we'll just
Okay.
yeah. So tell us what's
Should we
going
do
on.
Layla voice. That was British.
I do read lips, but unfortunately not these ones.
Oh, that's
Damn.
I
That was a
understood
good
what
one.
you were saying.
Somebody timestamp that.
I think it was 90% of our communication is nonverbal. It's all body language and tonalities. So we don't even need a
Which is why it's so hard to understand people in texts.
You can't communicate in a text.
You really can't.
You can't communicate on Twitter either. Like Twitter is just texting for the collective hive mind. It's such a fascinating operation that's happening to me being on Twitter and everybody. Twitter could predict civil unrest before the police can. So Twitter understood that what was going to happen. Hong Kong protest, BLM, any kind of protest, Twitter knew. Then they changed the company's name to X, and Puff Daddy is actually a big investor. I didn't know that, but he's a big X is owned by Puff Daddy. That's funny.
Or that Twitter is a bluebird and that we all know about Mockingbird. And so then they give us a Mockingbird. And then you're saying that Twitter knows before everybody about all of these riots, when I would argue that Twitter's the one that created the riot. It's so easy for bots to act like they're 100 people for real, and it's one person in a room, and the amount of people that are just loosed fighting with people that aren't real. And it's kind of, I've fought with bots myself where I've been like, this is a weird comeback, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I bet this person's not real. Let's try, how's your Wednesday going? And the bot, it doesn't know how to answer that because it's when something that you put up and all of a sudden it's like Trumpster, Trumptard, and you're like, whoa, this post doesn't have anything to do with Donald Trump. It's just anti-Hillary or anti-Kamala or anti-big government or anti the CIA or anything you become anti, and they automatically put you Trumpy. Fight them back like they're a robot, and they probably are. Because all of the Russian collusion and all of the bot farms and all of the things that they accused Trump of in 2016, they actually did.
They didn't. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing, is that there's a lot of new truthers out there, right? And it's called the red pill space, which is all connected to this is crazy. All the people that are in the lead experts of red pill, which comes like from the Matrix, right? That the whole truther movement moved to the red pill space. Most of them are connected to federal agencies and the United Nations. Crazy, right there. Not that crazy. So a lot of people didn't get into politics until Trump. That's when people started to care about Bad Orange Man. Everybody was coming to me with policies on how about Trump, and I was like, Obama killed 500,000 in was it Syria or something? I'm not, I'm just people didn't know about politics until this happened, and I'm just babbling on about a small. I quit nicotine too. I'll have 3 weeks tomorrow, so I'm like,
Oh, good job.
communication is hard.
Kudos. Cigarettes are supposed to be the hardest.
It
out
is
of
harder than
everything.
heroin. Yeah, it's harder than meth, heroin.
I've
alcohol.
quit paper cigarettes. I still electric cigarette, and I sometimes dream for my 80th birthday I'm going to give myself paper cigarettes back. But I actually think that cigarettes are the Lee Harvey Oswald of cancer. I don't think they cause the cancer. I mean, sure, they probably put chemicals in them like the same they do on your corn and tomatoes and everything
That's what
else.
they blame it on. Yeah, for
but
sure.
look
Yeah,
at less
that's
people
funny.
smoke cigarettes now than ever in the history of mankind, probably, or at least since the Industrial Revolution, and more people have cancer than ever before.
Yeah,
Riddle
didn't
me
Celine
this.
Dion get like lung cancer?
That's
Huh?
a great point.
I think like Celine Dion got lung cancer and she never smoked a cigarette in her life.
Oh, there was, yeah. And they're saying, oh, well, it's probably more like mesothelioma or something like that. It probably has to do with lead paint or
She was at ground zero on
asbestos.
9/11.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay. Yep.
It's probably from the
Oh.
boiler room on the Titanic.
So it's kind of coming back to me now. With
All coming back to me. Sorry, isn't that Celine?
I don't know.
Good
that
job.
song.
All
What song is that?
coming back, all coming back to. Sorry, that was Nimrod. It was Celine, and then it was Nimrod.
Now I forgot what I was gonna say. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. I think I was going at. Oh,
No.
Pudgy mudge. What about if you come on through your phone? Like F the computer and come on old school.
yeah.
Let's bring it back to the basics.
Yeah, let's come back to
It's just a great camera shot of Layla.
It
Like, you
is.
don't
I
It's
know.
so beautiful.
She's lucky I know. She just comes on and we're like, yeah, even if your mic doesn't work, cool, just sit
Yeah,
here.
it's fine. Just express yourself. Where I was getting at with the nobody.
Abbie, are you texting Layla? Did you come on with
No.
your phone?
No, I'm just texting everybody I want to bitch out for letting me oversleep. So
Okay. All right. Sorry, Donut.
I forgot
We're
what I
paying
was gonna
attention.
say again.
It's all coming
It
back
has
to me.
something to do with
Celine
the new
Dion.
Twitter predicting stuff. You said Twitter actually instigates it.
Oh, instigates the.
They kick off the.
What's happening?
it's a Mercury retrograde. I'm telling you,
It
because
really
then I
is.
tried to
Oh, it
log
is?
in. Yeah,
When
I tried
did
to
it
log
end?
in, and then Google kept blocking me. It kept saying that this might be a fishy site, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, if
So-
someone doesn't know what Mercury retrograde is, it ruins communication. And I'm like having trouble communicating. Layla can't get up in here. You can't log in.
Yep.
I came home from vacation. I have had to replace my refrigerator and my television in the last 2 weeks, and I have to replace my washing machine, but I just haven't had time to go or want to go look at a new washing machine. Like, what a boring thing to buy.
I
A
know.
washing
there's some
machine.
great
Yeah,
The last thing you want to
there's some
spend
great
money on
washing
too.
machines
Like,
out here right now.
But
Well-
don't get suckered into all of like the stupid little upgrades and they make
No.
like songs.
I
and
don't want
glass,
any
but
of that.
Just
I don't want
do,
any
like, the-
censoring. I
yeah,
don't
dude,
want
the most basic of crap. Yeah.
I
all my
haven't had.
bougie friends with tons of money that bought the like $20,000 washing machine. They're like, don't do it.
Yeah,
And I'm
dude,
like,
there's no
"Heard."
reason. It's like the technology of washing machines and microwaves and refrigerators, it hasn't really advanced since they like first came out. It's really dumb technology.
It's just if a lady in China is watching you do it now.
yeah.
That's it. It's like the same as the Amazon stores. It's just like there's some person in China that is just measuring like in a little camera. It looks like whites.
Like, remember that refrigerator at the Airbnb in
Oh my gosh. I forgot
in
that.
Orlando?
And then you guys, so at our Airbnb when we all met in person the first time, our Airbnb had this internet refrigerator, and so we were there for probably like a good full day before we touched something on the fridge and realized the fridge was attached to every camera in the house, and then you could
including
scroll
the pool.
and yeah, so you could watch every part of the house from the fridge, and then you could write notes on the fridge like it was a dry erase board. You could download songs. You could make recordings on the fridge so they would replay them to other people. So
Could you imagine though being the person who's you running this house and like let's say you were doing a romantic thing and you're doing something in the pool and the cameras got you all on it and they pull it up right there on the refrigerator.
some kids do the next Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That is kind of that's called voyeurism. That's illegal.
Voyeurism.
That's jail time. Yeah.
Well, only if it's non-consensual. Right? But if it's consensual, then all of a sudden it's a business model.
That is true.
I'm so happy that I'm up here with the secret society of good guys. Everybody smash that like button.
Make sure you hit the like. If we're gonna go into, I kind of want to give you guys a glittery red pill. And did you RFK back Donald Trump today? And so I just wanted to play a little bit of this, and then I want to go through a couple of these moments in history because I'm like, have we forgotten about these things ever happening? Because I do feel like sometimes we end up in like short attention span theater. So let me pull myself up on here real quick so then I can pull it up.
Everybody up in the comment section talking about fridge. I like to open my fridge and just stand in front of it and meditate and look into the fridge. Do y'all do that ever?
Heck yeah. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing there. Okay.
I just open the fridge and stare into the light.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, you guys, it's official. RFK Jr. has officially dropped
We can't hear it.
I know, I'm turning it. I know. I don't even know if it doesn't even go any louder. Usually it does, but it won't. I wonder if I can blow it up.
Yeah, they sang timber. And for those of you that didn't
Can you not hear it?
It's very light.
Whatever. I'll just go through it for you guys. If it's too so do you remember George Bush's state funeral?
Where they hand him the letters?
Yeah, the
and
envelopes.
everybody gets the white envelopes.
Oh,
So-
yeah. What was that about?
So, and George Bush is also Timberwolf. This is his secret code name. And then he's also in the CIA, and he is present on the day that Reagan's attempted assassination attempt. And then his family has dinner with the Hinckleys the night before. Some people theorize that he was at JFK and Dealey Plaza. He was at that assassination attempt. And so him being Timberwolf, right when the elections and everything start to go down, the Kennedy kids come on right during lockdowns and start, they sing Timber. All the Kennedy kids edit Timber together. So some people are theorizing that RFK Jr. is, because way back when in the Q of it all, Q always says that JFK Jr. is not alive. So all the people that always jumped on the JFK Jr. bandwagon, but then everything about uniting America, when you swing back to RFK, there's rumors going around that what would it look like if RFK Jr. headed up the CIA? And so you take JFK, and he has a famous quote about splintering the CIA and tossing it into the wind into like a million pieces. And now you circle back around. This is a family that always knew how dirty the CIA was. And he gives this huge speech about the dirty CIA. And then you get these letters passed out, and you could pretty much say that we know the CIA has run our country pretty much since JFK. And there was maybe a shot that Reagan was some kind of real rawhide, but that assassination attempt quiets him and everything changes. So it's like you kind of see these times in America that maybe if there was an idea of something of a patriot or these people that are trying to save a republic, that maybe they tried to do something. Maybe it was a Democrat once, a Kennedy. Maybe it was a Republican once, a Reagan. But both of them are silenced with a bullet. And so then we don't really see this come again until a guy like Trump. You have RFK saying that he gives a nod to the CIA by putting J.D. Vance as his running mate, and then he backs him. So it's just all a very interesting play that we're
So
watching
weird.
when you think of the shadow government of the CIA. I know everybody likes to think, oh, everything's a psyop, nothing's real. But if you've ever done any research on the CIA, and redacted programs that they've had and everything we kind of live under now, literally everything we believe is fake. Everything we believe is wrong. That is a CIA program.
Wow. In the CIA, I've been doing some research right now with Knights of Malta stuff, and Alan Dulles was the Knights of Malta. And you're bringing up the Operation Mockingbird, and we got the Bluebird Twitter, and who's the leader of it is people who have been connected to projects of Operation Mockingbird, whether that is Tucker Carlson, but there's even evidence of people that go on Alex Jones that have been connected to Mockingbird, which is new information that I've been looking into these topics. So it is this alt new red pill, not Alex though. Alex isn't new. He's been around for a while, but still interesting stuff.
Yeah, it is an alternative. It's like Alex was always put there, though, to make everybody look crazy. And I feel like his character was supposed to be kind of laid out to pasture after the Sandy Hook thing, because that was supposed to make all of us be quiet because, oh my gosh, Alex Jones just got sued for $1 bazillion. And then they took his account because first they come for Alex Jones and then they come for everyone after it. So it was an excuse that, oh, it was real dangerous. A guy like Alex Jones spreading fake stuff like Sandy Hook. You got to get Chaney off talking about Q, and you got to get Abbie off talking about, whatever she's doing with flat earth over there. And you got to get Thomas off talking about anything that he's doing with NASA. So it's like all of a sudden, Alex Jones just became the normie version of what we were all talking about because the frogs are gay. Like, so you got to take it down because look how nutty that guy is. And he seems dangerous.
Did you see the apology tour that Ronda Rousey has been going on recently?
No.
So someone dug up an old, I think it was a tweet or a Facebook post where she basically reshared and said, one of those posts was like, everyone should look into this. And it was the Sandy Hook event. And when she retweeted that, it was kind of, everyone was doing that. It wasn't out of the ordinary for people to be resharing that in a certain demographic within social media. But after Alex Jones got that legal precedent set where it's like, nope, this is no-go area. We can take billions of your dollars away. So now, like, having that opinion or having had that opinion at that time, provably, is a really big problematic thing. Not just in the woke mind, but like it's a legal sort of ramification. Like you're a liability now. If someone wants to do business with you, you represent this walking financial risk. You know what I mean? So she's basically been like, I don't know what I was doing. I got caught up in the moment. It was just like a thing. My fingers slipped and I hit the retweet button. But the point being that event happened in Alex Jones, like that was the legal precedent that now everybody can cite as it's not just morally or ethically or like questionable, but this can cost money and or jail time. So therefore, and I think that was just the first big one, but there's going to be a whole bunch of like little tiny ones that follow in its wake.
I agree.
Charlie Sheen's real name?
Charlie Estevez?
Yeah. Carlos Estevez.
Carlos Estevez.
I always thought Emilio Estevez was a cooler name than Charlie Sheen anyway.
It's so much cooler.
I never knew that. That blew my mind.
Emilio Estevez. He was a Demi Moore original Brat Pack guy. He also dated Paula Abdul. I think he married Paula Abdul for a while.
He did.
Yeah, oldest son of Martin Sheen, brother to Charlie.
Opposites attract.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
He's a cold-hearted snake.
That was okay too. If it was first, it would have been okay. But
what was I gonna say? But like the whole Alex Jones thing and just something you said about it. It reminded me of this clip I saw of Glenn Beck earlier, and he's literally like calling out the ancient cities that already existed in the United States. Like he's literally going there now. I'm like,
Ancient
this guy.
cities in the United States.
He's saying that that the narrative about the Native Americans is all wrong. That they were
Oh,
probably way more advanced than we think. That he's like they might have been descendants of Egypt. It's like so weird.
well, so what's going on right now is that Spangler knew all the stuff that was about to happen way before it happened. And he wrote about how the West is going to get interested into the secrets of the occult. And I think he also is the guy that Henry Kissinger wrote his master thesis on. And he talked about the Faustian bargain Western man took to deal with the devil, how they'll be enchanted and move to Dostoevsky type Christianity. So the elites, Henry Kissinger, the elites know this guy's work. And so they knew everybody was going to turn ultra religious because all the Dan Bilzerian videos and all that of just debauchery, that was going to leave them unhappy. So they already knew that these figures all being propped up to push new religions, they're all new to religion, to promote it. And I keep forgetting what I'm saying.
You don't want the Faustian bargain.
Faustian bargain, Western man was going to do this, and we see that happening. And that is what he also talked about, is how people will get into secrets. So I think with Candace, what's going to happen with her is, I already know what's going to happen with her because I screenshotted her merch on YouTube because she's fully monetized, talking stuff that nobody else is allowed to talk about. Fully monetized. I went to her shop, which she removed, and it was about conspiracies. And so that's what she's going to push. We're going to see her try to
lean into that.
Yeah, because that's what's going to happen.
It's about the money.
Do you think in some of the weird way of undoing it, you almost need a black woman to come out as the new Alex Jones?
Yeah.
You almost like in the character roles they're always trying to play. It's almost like you can't have a white guy say it anymore.
You cannot have a white guy say it anymore.
Like everything is all the white guys saying it that have been saying it since the 70s, like saying it over and over again. It's like a whole bunch of Art Bells and Alex Jones.
We need a Morpheus.
Because I feel like she totally did a 180 on Britney Spears, because she went from like, oh, have you not seen like lithium over time, what it does to people? She's just bipolar. And now she's like talking about how, I forget what she was saying. I was listening to her the other day talk about Britney, but she was totally different story.
And it happened so fast. You like start looking at like the Twin Towers and you're like, oh, okay. And then somebody's like, do you really think the planes went through the building like that though? And you're like, huh? And they show you a different video of it. And then you're like, oh, I guess they didn't fall in their footprint. And then they're like, oh, the government knew these things. Oh, okay, that and that. Okay, this war is a little bigger. Okay, that attaches to this thing. Oh, that's this person. Oh, he sold him the guns. Wait, it's like once it unravels and you start digging because you're passionate about it, which a lot of this stuff, it's the first time your brain's been turned on by something. It's like all of our education, it's so rare that you find those certain topics or subjects or things that you're just like, holy shit, I just want to eat this. I'm so turned on by this information. This, because none of it's true. We're being force-fed lies and something about our instincts know it. And so you start falling on crumbs of truth and it tastes different. And so I feel like everybody's journey, once even their brain starts asking questions again, instead of just taking Jon Stewart headlines as meaning I'm smarter than you and that's all that matters at the water cooler, it's like once we actually start researching things and just why, where, who, just these, that's all you need. Just simple questions again to break people's psyche and get them back to like, oh, there you are.
I wish I knew what that exact catalyst was because it's obviously different for everybody. But imagine if there was like a drug that you could just slip into somebody's drink that as soon as it was in there, they'd start being like, wait a minute, I think this news program that's on, I think this is all bull. I think they're lying about all this intentionally. Like they're trying to do, but there it doesn't really exist. And it's hard to almost figure out. Like everyone's got their own little trigger, and it almost always seems like it comes to some kind of critical mass. And then what the hell is going on with the but I wonder what that threshold is. I wonder if there's like a quantifiable thing that if you were to just be like, look, here's the moon, the real moon footage, or look, here's this angle of the JFK assassination that couldn't have existed. If there's like a thing that you could be like, if you believe this, now open up your mind to all these other possibilities.
Yeah. I know we were kind of talking about the Box Saga a little bit and how to me, not to like totally derail the conversation, but it's just as a gay woman, there's certain things that you say to people to see if they'd be interested in hooking up if they're of the same sex. And so I just think the entirety of the Box Saga is, hey, would you suck your own dick if you could? Oh, you can't? You want me to? Like, I just think that's the entirety of it in a shtick, but it would be like a longer dance than that. But that's
It's a
kind
little
of
more
what
romantic, right?
yeah, that's what I akin most of this stuff to, though. Like, oh, you can't suck your own dick? You want me to? Like, so much of
It's
the
funny
entire
too though because you're technically like prime really like you are a target demographic for the female side of the Box Saga, but if it still doesn't appeal to you, then it almost feels dead in the water. Like if you can't get Chaney on board of Box Saga, then you really don't have a whole
Here's
lot of
the
hope.
issue. I told everyone that I could almost become I'm not a feminist. You just heard me go on a rant about like girls shouldn't be able to like it triggers me. Like they're not 100, they can't compete with men. The Box Saga is so set up for men only that they try to say it's a pyramid scheme of like women hook up with other women until they eventually and they share DNA until it all gets to the queen, and then men are all sucking each other off until it all gets to the king, and then the king and queen they procreate, and then that is the consumption of the entirety. We just had a baby, a village baby.
And we
Bingo.
all have chlamydia.
But men can swallow seed of other men. Women cannot, no matter what, take egg of other women.
Well, not with that attitude.
That's how. That's how the baby born. The
Yeah,
baby.
men couldn't in that way either. If like we're all just gonna Box Saga ourselves, and the whole thing is a Box Saga Ouroboros. And this is the other part too. Women don't think about eating their own box as much as men think about sucking their own dick. And this is the
I
reason.
can't say
It's
I've ever
not
thought of
because
that.
women are any more or less horny, I think. I just think it's because
Agreed.
the penis is staring you in the face when it's happy. It's like, sup. Like it's looking right at you. You look down, it's looking up. No matter what, like a lady has to take a special chore. Some girls tell other girls, you've never seen your own vagina? Girl, you got to get a mirror. Oh my gosh, you have to love her. Like
Yeah,
most
fry
girls,
green
you can go your
tomatoes.
entire life without seeing your vagina if you want to.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. I hear some girls don't even know that they have one.
No.
I
Some
heard
get 'em sewed
that. I heard that a chicken box and a chicken is a cock. So the Box Saga, from what I'm hearing from all y'all,
Layla Ann?
You're not wrong.
No, you're not there. Oh, I thought she was there.
I'm
for a
glad to
second.
see you,
She's
though.
over
yeah,
it.
just hang out.
Yeah, just hang out.
Kick it. Yeah, we know what you're saying.
And something about them earphones, something about that microphone.
Someone suggested that Layla write and just hold up what she wants to say.
She
my
could write in the
gosh.
chat.
I
She
have
might do
little
that.
whiteboards like that in my office. My son did that for like 6 months, didn't talk at all, and just used a whiteboard.
I didn't talk for years.
Really? You did
Yeah,
that too?
I never talked. Yeah, I never talked.
For years.
I mean, decades.
Decades.
Yeah, I was shy. I would not say a damn thing to anyone.
My son did a vow of silence thing. So like the schools, like I got called in the counselor's office. I was like, I don't see a problem with this. I was like, why are you guys complaining that he's not talking? I'm like,
It's a law of power to not talk.
yeah.
That's
Talking.
crazy. It is, right? If just a little kid just not talking intentionally, if you
You'll
know
learn
that they
so
can,
much.
right? That you would wield so much power. It's kind of funny too, because I could almost imagine a teacher like, stop distracting the class, like getting
Yeah.
all irate and yelling, and it's like all they're doing is just not talking, you know?
Layla's going to harness
Exactly.
all the power tonight.
It makes me nutty because look how clear her picture is. So her sound should be fine. Like something
She just said fight. Fight, fight, fight. She's talking about Trump.
she's talking about Donald Trump.
See, I know what she's talking about.
That was funny.
I know I will find somewhere, but she's on her phone, so I can't even be like, okay, well, just text and I'll bring it up. Because
I know.
yeah, I think it's those shitty
Yep.
earphones.
She doesn't like the headphones.
Yeah, I think undo those headphones.
I feel like we should at least start from the very base. Like, Layla, when you speak, can you hear your own voice? Okay, so it's
She
not
can
in the
hear
voice
her
box.
own voice in her ears. That's
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
me and Layla were on here
Okay.
alone.
So you can hear your voice in the ears. Maybe echo cancellation. Turn that part off in settings where it says echo cancellation.
Something awesome's gonna happen.
I know. It's gonna be magic.
I know we're all gonna be so excited, and it's gonna be so worth it, you guys.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
I am a person that I like delayed pleasure. Like it's one of my kinks, I think. And so this doesn't bother me at all.
Chaney likes edging. See, I know what that word means.
I know. What are the kids? Did you have anything yet in the school year that the kids?
Yeah, what are the new ones?
Delete?
Oh,
Yeah, what are the kids into? Are they into Andrew Tate still?
Have you heard about Vor Donut?
Dude, Vor's been working wonders
Vor?
on social media.
Vor?
yes. That's one that I learned
What-
from my
what-
students.
Oh, that's what kids be saying?
No, they look stuff up. Like, I'm a tech at school, so back to the Mercury retrograde of it all. You don't know a Mercury retrograde really works until you fucking work in technology. Like, even my boss now believes it. She asked me the other day, she goes, is it a Mercury retrograde? And I was like, yes, it is. She's like, oh. So anyway, but because I work for a school district, like I get every search that they look up that's flagged for certain things. So, and I can actually go on because I'm a Google admin. I can go on and look up everything that they look up anyway.
See what these kids are looking up?
But Vor was something that was brought to my attention last year, and I can't look it up at school. Like, I have to wait till I get home, or I have to do it on my phone without it connected to Wi-Fi, because then I'll get flagged for it. So,
Okay, I just Googled it.
I just put in.
You just got flagged.
I just put in Vor Batman because I just like on the show, since we've learned about this word, I like to put in random stuff to see what comes up. So, see how it's like big bellied and like big belly stuff like this, or like the snake constricting, because the snake eating something and living inside someone or being consumed by them is like this fantasy. So like, look at this thing could eat Batman whole, like living inside someone whole. This thing's inside the Joker whole, inside his throat. So it's like Vor, like this.
Looks like elephantitis right there. Don't look that up.
Like this is inside. Yeah. So this is what the kids are up to. They
Is-
need to.
Well,
That's
it's
it,
a-
Abbie?
It's like an asexual pregnancy. It's a way to kind of convey the same aspect that either you're being taken care of, something like you're entering almost like in a womb, but it's not the womb, it's usually the stomach, because again, it's like an asexual version of all this. But imagine if your stomach wasn't filled with acid, it was basically a womb. some people want to be in that womb and some people want to be like the carrier, and there's like a two-way thing about it. I don't quite understand it.
That's what the kids are looking up?
It's a weird, and I wonder, it seems like it would be the one of the thing that you'd be like, I'm gonna be into this because it's edgy and it's gonna shock mom and dad and they're not gonna understand it and they'll be freaked out. But I think after a while they'll probably be like, wait, there's something to this. Why is it tickling my brain?
Abbie, is this
Yes.
true?
Yes, it's true.
What is such a weird thing to be looking into?
I know, but okay, but it's the same kids. Like they all get started like around like 10 years old looking at furries. So, and I didn't really know, like furaffinity.net. That's the big one that they all go to. And it's the same kids. And then they start looking up LGBTQ. Then they start looking up different stuff along that line. But then they get into the whole and then some of them start wearing freaking little cat ears and stuff to school. Like they start doing the furry thing.
It's a gateway drug. Those cat
Yeah,
ears are a
and then
gateway
it leads
drug.
to vor. So then I was like, what the fuck is vor? They'll be like Simpsons vor. They'll look at Pokemon vor. You know, they're
Can
looking
I
at
Google vor or will I get in trouble?
You
No,
can
it's not
Google
illegal.
vor.
It's just weird.
not illegal. It's just like
It's
like
just
it's
weird.
illegal in a school.
This looks actually kind of cool.
See?
I mean, my Google looks a lot different than your guys' Google. My Google of vor looks pretty fun.
Well, I googled vor
want me to show
Batman
you?
specifically. Yeah, share your screen.
Okay.
Vor it up.
I'll show y'all what.
I mean, it's trending. This
my
is what kids are
algorithm-
into. It's not.
I know. I
banned,
almost
like,
think
promoted.
there needs to be a
It's-
paranoid American song, Vor Belly.
I think it's cool.
I think that might be in the works.
This
The
is-
AI is better too. I think we can actually start generating vor of like.
It's
I was trying to
hilarious.
do Bill Clinton inside of Hillary Clinton and vice versa, but there might
Yes.
be better ones.
We need to
It's hilarious.
fix it. There's got to be a way we can make us all there.
That looks hilarious to me. Like, look at the Lion King. But so there's a mythology behind this.
Yeah, it's like you want to be whole inside someone's belly, or you want somebody to be whole inside you.
Yeah, that's what. Oh gosh, that's exact. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy psychologically because that's what's happened to society is that nobody wants to be responsible adult. They want to go back home
Into the womb.
into the mother, and now the kids are like into this and makes sense psychologically. That is crazy.
Well, this is
Look at
I would say
Daphne
closely
eating
related-
Velma there.
Well, this is like Jeffrey Dahmer. This is part of the thing that he would really
It
get into.
is. Yeah.
I
they
think it's also like there's something with the trans agenda about making this like somehow a thing that little boys want to be pregnant.
Oh yeah, probably that too. Yeah.
Oh, why should we deprive
I
little
don't know
boys
why
of
we
knowing what it's like to be pregnant, Chaney?
That's like the scariest thing in the world. Like thinking about that, because like when we were kids, we had the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and that was super scary. It was like a horror film about Arnold Schwarzenegger getting pregnant, and then he birthed the baby out of his pee hole, and that would be painful.
Oh my gosh.
That was the most terrifying movie when we were kids. We never watched it.
They
because it
didn't
was
show that
scary.
part.
I thought I figured they had to have a C-section. That was my thought.
Oh, well, that's not what my mom told me. My mom told me a bunch of crazy stuff, so I thought that's what happened.
Wait, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito one where they have
I think they do leave it up to interpretation.
Yeah, I think it is, but in my head I just assumed that they had to have a C-section. But maybe they're pushing that out their pee hole. What do I know?
Layla, what do you think about that? Yeah,
It's gross. It would rip your dick, right?
Layla, hit that link and hit the link in the private chat and try to come back in one more time. Maybe it's a permission thing on the beginning of your phone that it's like, do you want this website to use this because it was brand new? Okay. Let's see.
Oh, and Abbie, when you smoke, that looked cool. It would look like green smoke.
I know it's weird how it looks green.
That was tight.
It is green. That's the real color of it.
It is.
That was cool. That was cool. I'm gonna fill up more coffee.
I hope Layla's thing works.
Me too.
It just is like, what the hell? And we were here a little early to test it.
And
And
it
it was,
worked before.
well, it was just her and I in the room. So I was adjusting. She's like, I can't hear you. And I'm like, I can hear you, but she couldn't hear me. So I thought it was me until Thomas came in.
Yeah, that happens all the time when I podcast with people, and then they just got to keep on hitting different buttons. I'll be right back.
Okay.
VR porn was one that they looked up this week, but there was one I had to turn it in, but I didn't look it up till
Wait, what?
later.
They were VR?
Yeah,
Not
VR
porn?
porn.
VR?
Yeah, VR porn
Okay.
was looked up, but this one like because I have to turn these in. Which I mean, if they're looking up stuff they shouldn't be, then we usually pull them to the office and
How
it's
to kill a
embarrassing.
cop? Is that one of
No.
them?
Does self-immolation do self-immolation victims feel pain? I was like, I didn't even know what self-immolation was, so I was like, I just took a screenshot and I was like, I'll look it up when I get home. And I looked it up. I was like, oh shit, like self-burn
is this?
victims?
Self-burn victims?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like starting yourself on fire.
I think
my
that
goodness.
the answer to that is sometimes yes, sometimes no. Because if you do it right, if there's a right way to do it, it kind of like sucks all the oxygen out from like your entire vicinity because the fires is pulling all the oxygen in. So really, you're probably gonna suffocate faster than you're gonna burn to death.
You
But
think that's
just-
true for like
Maybe
witches
you
burn
don't
at stake too?
feel it, yeah. I'm sure you do it first. I'm sure you feel a little tingling sensation so that you know it's working.
Huh. There is something to the burning at the stake, even with Anne Rice and the vampires, something to burning
Yeah.
specifically so the soul doesn't have anywhere to go. Mm-mm-mm.
What
keep
makes
hearing-
burning yourself such an act of defiance, though? Like, there's so many other things you could do before you get to that specific point. I guess it makes a statement.
Like
Well, that's it.
branding?
Stuff like that, I have to turn it in, and then sometimes it's something they're learning in school. So, I never know if it's like, are they talking suicide here, or are they just curious, or but it's always got to be investigated, stuff like that. But then half the time, the teacher will be like, "Oh no, it was in the book we were reading." Oh, okay. Well, y'all can let us know this.
I know they should write a list for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you're going over anything or have some literature that we should, so we don't make it so they can't Google it.
Yeah. Or so we don't. So not every kid has to go in and see the counselor.
It is so fucking peculiar, y'all. It's making me nutty. I just wish Layla lived closer. I'd be like, I'm gonna run over to Layla's and I'll be right back. I know, I almost wonder if you unplug the mic and the ears and don't even use them. And you just
Like
talk
on
to us like
speaker?
it's okay. Thank you guys for being patient. Please hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you find us on X at Secret S of Good G or on Rumble at Project Chaney.
Or else.
The idea that it's not working even on our phone is so crazy. No, it makes me think that your bot, like your microphone's not hit because I can't tell if you guys have your mics muted or not. Like there's
And
another
it's not
button.
on your end, Chaney.
I can mute Layla and I can unmute her. If I mute her like that, and then I can unmute her. But she can also unmute her and mute herself. But the idea that you can see her and none of her stuff has worked is so crazy. No, I even turned you way up. Nuh-uh. It's bogus. It is bogus. Well, we didn't get the year of restream yet. Maybe we're gonna have to move. Okay. Do it. We're good.
It's cute.
It's bogus.
Layla's got good hand gestures.
Yeah.
The
And
best.
expressive eyebrows.
The
I know those will be the ones people freeze and they'll be like, look, Layla's Illuminati. And she'll be like, my
Oh,
mic
yeah.
didn't work that night. Oh yeah, what's that weird claw? The claw, I think that's called. What's that, Thomas?
the West Side
West
symbol.
Side.
No, you got a cross for that.
Yeah.
Now, what does
but
it mean? What does it mean? I'm from the West Side, so I know how to throw it up correctly.
Oh, so am I.
A claw would be like this. No, this would be like a claw.
No, but I know what. So what Chaney's talking about? It could be a claw. It could be multiple things. I could bring up the slides because it's something I saw one of the Tate brothers
Yeah,
holding
let's
up.
talk about the Tate brothers for a minute because I know so many people that were on the Tate brothers' dick for so long, and I just felt like a pop song or like an Alex Jones, they were pushed on us. You didn't find them unknowingly. Like all of a sudden, the Tate brothers were everywhere.
Everywhere. Piers Morgan, Fox News, CNN, Megyn Kelly.
He has a weird accent, and he's like, "Let me tell you how to treat ladies like whores." Like, what? Where are you from, bro?
Romania, right?
No, I'm Romanian. He ain't from Romania.
But I think it's a bunch of Romanian young girls that he has trapped, like groomed. 15-year-old girls.
So this is the hand sign though that we were talking about, and when they got locked up for the new allegations, right here I noticed his brother. All these people are pumped up by Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones. There's like Chaney saying they were put in the Google algorithms. They were the most Google search people on the entire planet. Are any of us Google search? We get removed.
Yeah, or if you try to look up Trump, it pulls up Kamala. So it's like when you find somebody and it's pushed to the top. So if you type in Kamala and it pulls up the Tate brothers, or I keep saying that, like something about the RFK bent, I have like 100 times the views on one RFK post than I do on any of my other shadow banned account. And it just made me know he was going to be in the front and center just because the algorithm's pushing him.
I shared this out. It got more views on Twitter than anything else that I've shared ever. So like it's in the algorithm. It's popular. But they get arrested. He's super scared. And he throws up this hand sign right here. He does it on this hand, and then he does it on this hand too later in the video. So it's very intentional. It's not because look at this. It's this. Look at this right here. The Third Reich doing that. A bunch of Christopher Columbus's ass was doing it as well. And I mean, the claw thing. It goes into this claw that I saw, but I did deeper research into the claw. It's called the devil's claw. I don't think that's what it is, but I that's where I got it. It could be though. It could be. I wrote about it. That could, but I think it's the Twin Peaks. I think it's the A in the A. I think it's the Twin Peaks. That's what I think it is. But
what I find weird is that his middle finger and his ring finger are like exactly the same length.
Oh, you know what that means? You know what that means? Oh,
What
okay.
does that mean?
So look at your pinky though, like with your hand that you hold the
Does
phone with.
That's an AI hand. Doesn't it look like he has
No, that
6
was
fingers?
It
Look
could
at that.
be. Yeah, it could be.
Because it looks like he should have a pinky behind that other hand there. Is that
Yeah, their arms are attached very strange.
If you look at your right hand, if that's where you're holding your phone with, which I'm guessing that people do, look at your pinky. Is there a dent in it? Like, because I got this dent in it, and my friend told me it's because of holding the cell phone. You see that like that?
Well, the last
Or am I
the
just
last one knuckle.
gullible?
Oh
Am
my
I just,
gosh.
am I
I
just
don't know. I believe you because I have a dent in my finger from holding my pen and pencil.
Oh yeah, like from handwriting when we were kids. I have permanent dent in my middle finger.
Oh really?
Layla does it 2 of her fingers. 3.
Oh,
Yeah, I have that one too, Layla. And one of my fingernails grows weird because of it.
Yep.
But I know kids won't have to worry about that anymore because they won't be writing as much as us.
Well, Oklahoma just put it back in the state standards, so they have to.
Look at Oklahoma is okay.
It is okay, is it not?
And what's the okay symbol?
The
With your
okay.
hand? Look at
Oh,
that,
Oh, she did it.
Illuminati.
Up. Nope. Now she's in the
Yep.
Illuminati.
Yep.
That's all it takes now. It used to take like decades of donating money
Or,
and
yeah.
research, but now you just do a hand sign on social media and you're in.
Period. That's easy.
Oh, look at monkey
You
rituals.
don't gotta get sexting. You just gotta do a hand symbol.
Because it all is monkey pox and
yeah. So that's another thing that well, he's doing the hand symbol.
yeah.
Or I've got some vor images of Joe Biden, but I don't know if you want to see them
Yes.
or share them or you
Did you create them?
Into this. Yeah, just now. I just found
Of course he did.
I found the right way to do it. I'm just trying to
Oh,
get it
you're gonna
bigger.
go viral now. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
dare you to post
What
them.
I know, you almost need like vor trading cards.
Well, those could be the foil inserts. Like, there's only 10 made or something. I don't
Or
know.
you know how if you put the inserts, if you get a bunch of packs and you collect all the inserts, one side is like some kind of information, but if you connect all the backs together, it makes one big picture. Do you remember when Garbage Pail Kids used to do that?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there was also a lot of really good trading card set. Like there was a Spider-Man from Skybox, I think, that did that. Every 9 cards would form to be like a little miniature sort of painting.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. All right. Vor Clinton. Are you going to put it in the private chat or are you going to share your screen?
I put it in the Telegram. I hope. Okay, yeah, thank God. This is one of those images you don't want to like accidentally send to the wrong group.
Oh my gosh, it's so gross.
I'm working on
I don't even want it on my computer.
Oh yeah, somebody brought up the the E. That's kind of weird.
We're getting bigger. It's not easy to make AI do something that doesn't really
We can't see
have
it.
any basis in reality.
We can't see it. We can't see the documents.
Okay. It's so weird. It's uploading and boom. It kind of looks like Joe Biden.
So okay, look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful.
It's so gross.
Don't you dare tell me that this can't be beautiful.
That's beautiful. That's what I said. I said it's beautiful. That's the greatest president that's ever existed.
I just wish it was covered in like silver
More
hair
votes.
though, because let's make it more realistic, right? Like a dude belly.
People are all
Old
mad at
dude
me
belly.
because, like, I don't know why people are mad at me calling him the greatest president that's ever existed. Like, he got more votes than Obama. It's
He
just
got 81 million votes. He's the most popular president of all time.
yeah. I don't know why people are so mad at me for saying the truth that he's the greatest president of all time. Got more votes than Obama.
I know it's Obama's third term. Obama's third term of presidency. I don't know. It is sure interesting. And I still am surprised that Kamala made it to the end of the DNC. If I was a betting person, I would have been like, no way, no day. There's no way they keep her there. It's all about Michelle. It's all about Big Mike. So Big Mike could still be the VP. I don't know if they'd be so brazen.
No, Big Mike.
Big Mike is a debarred attorney.
What's going to happen is Kamala going to be put in emergency, become the 47th, and then it's gonna get bad.
Do you
Like,
remember when Kamala was the 47th? Like Joe, for
yeah,
like 3 hours, he got a surgery or something.
yeah, he didn't like initiate himself in or something.
Like
Or
he
something
was
like that.
in surgery for like 3 hours, so she was the sitting president.
Oh, weird. I could be wrong though, but that's what I think. I mean, that's the only way that she's gonna get in office is for Biden to collapse, and then the country's just gonna get worse and worse, and then people are gonna beg for Trump. I mean, they already are.
How many I know it's like the people that are still so angry. Like
With the derangement people.
yeah,
Oh,
there's a
they're
lot.
hopeless. You kind of just like, yeah, that's a sickness. It's like a mental sickness.
What is your take? We talk about like this fake red pill, Alex Jones and such. What do you think of Elon and PayPal
Well, I don't
and
consider Alex
Twitter?
Jones part of the fake red pill movement when I bring it up. He's got some old roots, and like we got to thank the man for his service, as much as there's some intelligence
What do you think?
apparatus.
I always like, what is Alex's Jones' claim to fame to you?
His claim to fame to me is the movie Endgame. That movie was nuts. I've never been more paranoid in my life.
What
I was
movie?
Endgame.
Endgame. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it scared the shit out of me back in 2000.
Because I usually feel like he just grifted other people's ideas. That's how I always felt about Alex Jones. He was always like late to the party. He wasn't as late as Joe Rogan getting there, but his predictions were like, if he just threw enough stuff at the wall, one of them was bound to come true.
Wait, so I was impressed by him for something that's slightly different than that, and that was when I was in the military station in Texas, and we actually had like I could get him on AM radio, but he would also be in the news constantly as just some random. And I was a conspiracy theorist, in the 90s. So like in the early 2000s, I was watching TV and I saw everyone, and this was in I think in Austin or something, but it was in Texas. He was getting arrested at SeaWorld because they were trying this new thing that you would put your thumbprint down as you got access to SeaWorld, and then it would print a barcode, and you would put that on your wristband. So if you went around the park, you could like scan the rides you were going at. It was like a way to kind of track you around the park. And they were pitching it as like this cool, hey kids, like high tech. And Alex Jones shows up and he's blocking people being able to get into the park. And there's like school buses full of kids that are there to be at SeaWorld to do like their school trip and like learn about dolphins or whatever. And they got Alex Jones. It's like, kids, don't go in there. They're going to scan you. It's a mark of the beast. They're going to take your soul. And the police had to come and like pull him away from that. And then he did the same thing a week or two later at the DMV, because the DMV were issuing like real ID cards.
That was tight.
And that was one of the first times. I think I had like heard that he had some videos. I might have seen like some police state ones.
He punked George Bush too.
Was this before or after he was on the Waking Life movie?
As
before. Being the voice
definitely before.
Yeah, but look at how close that was of like, here's a voice of a megaphone guy that he's going to be the guy that says the end of the world is near in the movies. He actually became that in the movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like beforehand. And then Bohemian Grove. Doesn't that feel like a whole big like?
I think there's a connection to all of it.
Like Alex Jones, like if you're gonna go deep, he has to have enough of the truth to keep you there as long as he did. But it's similar to Joe Rogan to me. He just feels like a deeper cut.
Now it's totally controlled. Like it seems like intelligence. I don't know. I'm researching it very, very, very deeply.
And he always towed the correct narrative. Because look at all the Clinton body count except for Alex Jones. Like nothing ever comes out of Alex Jones. And my favorite is January 6th, Alex Jones in a tank. That's still my favorite part of the entire script that you never get to see, is that it was going to be so much bigger and uglier on TV that the character Alex Jones had to be in a tank, but they never needed that part of the movie because it would have looked silly with just one buffalo shaman and some random conspiracy theorist guy in a tank. Like, that would have been silly. So that they didn't need that part of the movie to show everyone.
Yeah.
But
For real.
I don't know.
He
I've just
wasn't
pushed so
with the
many idols
movie.
down now. It's so hard for me to
Yeah, it's
like
hard.
leave any of them erected in
We
the
gotta
wake.
crush all these idols. I like that.
Yeah, even the frogs, like
right.
they're
It's like
turning the
even with
frogs
Alex,
gay.
for
That would
real.
be like the thing I'd give him credit for. But if he didn't say it like they're turning the frogs gay, people might have actually taken him seriously. So him saying it like that and being like an asshole and using that kind of rhetoric made no one look any deeper about actually all of the drugs being flushed and all of the antidepressants and all of the things that were actually making all of the frogs change their gender. So it was
Oh
like
yeah. And all the like
but
birth
his
control pills.
taglines always put us three steps back.
Devil's advocate, on a game of numbers only, there were probably some of those frogs that wanted to be gay, right? Or they
Yeah,
wanted
some of them were
to...
probably looking for the drug.
Yeah.
But also, Alex Jones was never the Sandy Hook dude. He never was the Sandy Hook dude. It was like Sandy Hook was such a sloppy false flag. And by that point, so many of us were so woke, way before COVID, way before lockdowns, way before Trump. So many of us were so woke and watching Sandy Hook and called it out on the moment how much bullshit it was. And we had so much recordings of it that it was almost like he had to come out and pretend he was the Sandy Hook guy just to make us all shut the fuck up, because the only way that fake stage parents that aren't even real can sue someone, they have to not be real too. So it was a way for Chaney to shut up because an actor that was fake crying laughing about his fake daughter that was once in an Obama picture, like, that guy can't sue me because he's not real, but he can sue Alex Jones because Alex Jones is an actor. And he's
Yeah.
going to sit in a fake court and play along to make all the other conspiracy theorists shut the fuck up.
Right, and that sets a very real legal precedent, so that in 20 years or 50 years, it doesn't matter if it was real or fake, because the legal precedent's been established, and a lawyer can cite it in a real court of law and say, look, that's what they decided back then, and now all of a sudden it becomes more real than real things that never got a legal precedent set.
And that court case was faker than Michael Jackson's anesthesiologist court. Like,
The
if you want to
court
look at
cases,
courtroom,
yeah.
the whole courtroom's fake.
It's
Like, the whole court case is phony.
It's a money thing too, as well. Like all the attention on the OJ case, and that's what's going to happen with the Andrew Tate thing, because he's all the charges of all the minor trafficking and stuff like that. That'll go into the court case, and then it'll be a big TV show for the most popular Google algorithm man ever to exist, and they're going to just carry that on, just like they did with that the Kyle Rittenhouse, how they had his court case on. Yeah,
They were all kind of set there to take away power right now. So it is perfect for all the quote unquote alpha men that have been following Tate University and jerking off while they just working out their upper body and shaving their head and listening to this guy on repeat over and over again. This is a perfect way to make them all shut the fuck up about their president too. So it's like, what a silencing that you do by you take this hero and you make him the pedophile that they all claim they fight against.
Right. There's this big push for that the PDF stuff. It's weird. Like, it's like super pushed right now. It's wild.
But it makes me think that it isn't pushed. It's just they're that brazen. It's that out in the open.
There's
like you brought up
psychological
Syria.
operation. It's a psychological operation that we're watching. It's like before we watched a movie or the radio show War of the Worlds, because we only had one damn radio. So we thought the aliens were invading and killing everybody because of the one radio thing. But now we have more than just a movie theater. We have cell phones, billboards, and I feel like Andrew Tate is the first psychological operation on a massive scale of a movie that we're watching, but with different actors, which are like the news agencies, the different. So everywhere you look, it's the simulacrum. It's the damn Matrix. It's what the Matrix is based off of, is reality TV. Reality TV is the simulacrum. It's a copy of a hyper reality. And there's a lot going on. I think it's weird that he also blocked David Icke. That's kind of weird too, as well. Why would you do that? That's like an OG legend talking about Matrix stuff.
Yeah, why would you block David Icke at all? Being
even if
Andrew
you were talking
Tate.
crap, like that's tight.
Like, David Icke's talking about me. He's calling me a lizard person.
I think it's competition. It just comes down to like at this level, Alex Jones is now a corporate entity. He has ceased to be a person. I think around like 2016 at least, and he just turned into the corporation of Alex Jones. And at that point, David Icke is a competing corporation. It's Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
True that.
And this other interesting thing Alex Jones does to me, because he did it again on Tim Dillon's show. I used to think it was just a Joe Rogan thing, but now I realize anytime he's going to go on any show where Alex Jones is going to be interviewed and not by the mainstream media actors. So he might get an Andrew Schultz or a Tim Dillon. He has to get intoxicated first, or he has to get stoned first on air. So anything that comes out of his mouth that actually might be
like,
true.
I was messed up.
I was so high.
I was just high. I was just
yeah.
drunk. I don't know.
That's my excuse. Anything that I've ever said on this show, it's my excuse.
That's amazing.
I tell everybody, I only melt the idols that used to be my own.
Yeah.
And I know most about them. There's other, like his ex-wives are weird. The relationship that he's had with some of his kids. Like, I just think, Hollywood played ball with Alex Jones. He was on Howard Stern for a while as a regular guest. Even so, they made like an Alex Jones puppet. So now they have a fake voice Alex Jones that they do fake conspiracies with, that they can mix the two. But real Alex Jones goes on Howard Stern to give it validation. So it's just
Charlie
like
Sheen, the #1 paid actor of all time at that time, was, I think, funding. And he's the guy who's talking about 9/11.
Yeah, he also comes out and does a video, Dear Mr. President, to President Obama, another CIA actor. So you have a CIA actor shill say, Dear Mr. President, do this. But they're about to sacrifice Charlie Sheen. They don't want to pay him anymore for this sitcom. It's going on forever, yada, yada, yada.
It's so not even his real name.
Yeah, it's like a perfect way to tie it all out and be like, he does this thing. Immediately after he does the 9/11 video to Obama, Tiger's blood, and then he gets AIDS.
Is he? Oh, he's not alive anymore.
Do you think he's got monkeypox?
No, he's still alive.
He's got yeah.
Magic Johnson's still alive.
There's something going. Yeah, there's a South Park episode that like shows you why.
Because I know, but even the name Magic Johnson is such a mockery
to
us about what they were going to do.
Like
and guess what number he was? 32.
Oh, there you go. That's a big number. Yeah, it's wild. I like what you're saying, Chaney. I'm there too. It's like questioning these idols that were put in front of us. Why were they put in front of us on such a high level too? Like, I thought it was underground when I got into it, because I had an old man who was like in his 70s. He's like, here you go, kid. Watch this DVD. And it was the Alex Jones DVD. I was like, all right, it has scared the shit out of me. It freaked me out. And my family actually sat me down and told me that I had paranoia, because I thought all the Freemasons were like gonna, like, I was like, what? Because it was the first time I heard about what a Freemason was. So I was so scared. I was so like freaking out. I was like, they're all over the place. And they're like, yo, Alex, you tripping, dog. Like, I was stoned out of my mind too. And so I was like a little teenager. And then, time went on, and then 2012, this was like in 2005, 2006. This is when like Obama was president. it was around like a year into his presidency. And then I was in California in 2012, and I was like, that Alex guy really scared the shit out of me. I want to watch something scary again, because everything he said in that kind of like things just went bad. The 2008 happened and all that. And then I watched the Obama deception, and then that broke me like totally. Great documentary, because it made me be like I was deceived. I thought that this was something, and then that it was a wild. 2012 was wild, and now we're like in 2012 again because it's the dragon year. 2012 was the dragon year, and now we're in 2024, the dragon year. I think this time is all about like new agey kind of wacky do conspiracy stuff.
Well, the world
I have
ended
been
in
standing on the
2012, right?
corner with Obama deceptions. Like I have made no less than 250 copies of the Obama deception in my life and stood on a corner of the street of Portland, Oregon and passed it out to people.
That's awesome.
It's
So
like
Yeah.
now thinking about doing that now, it just seems like, whoa, how dangerous. It was almost like it just wasn't that hot back then. It was like people were like, whatever, John McCain, Sarah Palin, like
Yeah.
no one really, it just wasn't that hot of a topic. And people were like, what? I can't even believe you think he's a bad guy. This is racist.
I used to live with my grandma, and I would listen to Alex Jones all day, playing it hella loud so she could hear it. And she was like, what the heck was he listening to all day? That's all I did all day. Like, and this was before Spotify. So I would rip the MP3 off of YouTube, put it into iTunes, upload it onto my iPod Shuffle so I could listen to it in the car. Like, this was back in 2012.
Hardcore.
Yeah. And then he went on to Piers Morgan. So it was like the radio station in my room that I thought was underground. My grandma's watching it on Piers Morgan on the mainstream dumbed down television. And it made me, she came up to me and she was like, I understand why you watch him now. He's very entertaining. But then my old boss, Christopher, was like, that was intentional to make people like us kind of look crazy. And I disagreed with him for the longest time. I was like, no, that was badass. 1776 commits again. 1776. But
what's the answer to 1984? 1776.
And I feel like a lot of that, and it's still in the new CIA headquarters, Austin, Texas, where Joe Rogan and Elon both reside. It's interesting to me that big push and back to Alex Jones in the tank, he is part of the secession narrative. He is the push, the Kyle Rittenhouse, to get Americans to pick up arms against each other. This is the goal, to pick up arms against each other. And that is like that angry push. Let's get in a tank. The only answer, 1776. It's like, but to who? Who are we waging war against? The tax man? The bankers? The crown? Who? Because right now it seems like each other.
Is Layla wearing a Charlie Sheen t-shirt? That's so wild. We were talking about Charlie Sheen and you were wearing a t-shirt the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't know that
That's
you had a Charlie
wild,
Sheen
dude.
t-shirt.
That's God working. Like, that's wild.
That's a true sync.
God has entered the stream.
Carlos
Estevez.
I know. Let me see if there's anything.
Well, we have some announcements, right? We can
talk about some things.
We're running a little in.
So on Wednesday, the 4th, I think it's the 4th, the first Wednesday of September, that is when we're going to start the Wednesday night show. And it is going to be Lodge 1202. And you guys are going to be welcome inside the secret society. We're going to have a lot of guests on to teach us about certain topics, one kind of word at a time. and we're going to start it with A, and we're going to start it with a word we can't say because it'll get us taken down. But
I'll
it's
say it. It's a no. I'm just kidding.
what are other ways we
Oh, I know what
Layla, you
word it
say
is.
it.
I
Say
say
without your mic.
side until that gets popular enough that you can't say that either.
Yeah.
Like, hold your mic down and say it so that way they can read your lips.
Yeah, she said, "Oh, you could hear me, but we couldn't."
What's the A word for the first episode?
What's the A word for the first episode?
Well, there's gonna be the real word, and then there's gonna be like the fake password. So the fake password, I think, is gonna be Apple Jacks. I think maybe we go with like children's cereals to replace all the words that we're not allowed to say until we get into the inside of the lodge room.
Okay.
Okay.
So is everybody welcome to this, or is this a
everybody's welcome to watch?
invite only?
Like, we're gonna keep it light, where we like bounce around the subject a little bit at the beginning, and then about 45 minutes in, we're gonna go to X and Rumble only so we can speak freely about it.
Oh, at what time?
It will be, I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern
Look
Standard
at that
Time.
prime time, baby.
I think 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what we decided. So it will be the lodge meeting, and it will be Wednesday nights, and we will have all of your favorite guests. And we do want you to come on, Donut.
I would love to show up.
Fill in some of the nights. What, Abbie?
Because y'all, we are a real secret society. You're gonna see it now.
Yeah, you guys are all going to be part of it.
Yep.
And you're going to get to inner sanctums of it.
And also, I don't know if A is on the topic, but that letter go hard. Like everything goes back to the alpha letter. Everything, like it's wild, like a lot.
Well, I think we're gonna go through a few different letters. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think we've said enough about what's going on Wednesdays.
But we are working on it, so we want you guys to know that it's taking a little bit longer, but we want it to come out officially September, but we think that'll be good, and you guys will like it. You'll like the way you look. We guarantee it.
What is that? Men's Warehouse?
Hair Club for Men.
Hair Club for Men.
Maybe it's Men's Warehouse. Maybe it's Men's Warehouse.
It is Men's Warehouse.
You're gonna.
I just saw a man in a blue suit.
We guarantee
with a beard.
But also, don't you guys have something that you're working on? Paranoid American and Donut?
We have IlluminatiComic.com. Yes,
it's going well. I think like 120 people roughly have signed up so far to be notified.
Oh, snap.
So
I'm really excited for it.
So the Illuminati comic, if you haven't heard of it, you should go there right now. IlluminatiComic.com. It'll bring you to a sign up page. And once we get a certain number of people, then we'll be able to start announcing some launch stuff. But me and Donna have been also talking about like the coolest merch ideas to just kind of experiment with. And none of these are guaranteed, right? These are just the things we've been shooting through. But we were talking about blacklight posters, like custom cassette tapes with exclusive music that hasn't come out before. And this is also going to be the first color pamphlet. So I've done a bunch of these different Paranoid pamphlets, these little trick track style comics. But for the one that we're doing together, me and Donut, is going to be in color, is going to be animated. We're pulling out all the stops on it. And I think this is probably going to be where we release the Donut trading cards inside the conspiracy card set.
Oh yeah, and like Paranoid American, he's the best. What's up, Layla?
Dang, Aaron, thank you for the super chat. That's awesome.
I tried to pull up the Illuminati.com.
IlluminatiComic.com.
How do you make it's telling me my cookies or something are too strict?
Well, loosen up your cookies.
I know. I don't know how to loosen my cookies. I don't know how to do it right now. I know. What about if my tight cookies have something to do with Layla's sound?
You just need to.
And like you get also.
Oh, well, you need to clear your cache and cookies, Layla. That's what I usually tell everybody as a tech person.
Okay.
Chaney should pull up Aaron's super chat
Oh my goodness.
I know.
That's so sweet of you.
That's awesome.
What did I want to know? Like, make Aaron Henschel.
I'm going
Look
to his
out.
house. Because
Y'all are
he
tripping.
has-
Yeah, for sure.
None of
Can
us
we just
could.
turn this into a game of
Let's see if
charades?
somebody from the
Layla has
audience could figure
harnessed
it out.
all the power.
One, you got to do like the syllable thing. Like you start like first word, fourth
Yeah,
syllable,
that was-
I
right?
think she's frozen now.
Yeah, I'm
Shoot.
leaving Aaron up for a while. Aaron's probably desperate for Layla to get a new microphone.
Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron, big up your blood clot self.
I'm going to kill her, and then she pointed at Abbie.
That's what I
What are
thought.
you guys beefing all of a sudden?
Well, I love you, Layla.
She's gonna
even
go
if
on the
you're mad at me.
computer.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, do it.
that's a great idea. That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
It's on the Telegram. You want me to send you the link? You got the link.
I got it. One sec.
Okay.
And with Paranoid American's wonderful work that he does, you get all the cool like this. I got this because I'm gonna get Alex to sign this.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear
Oh,
you.
we can hear you.
oh my God!
God, is that you?
Fuck. Okay.
It's
All right,
me,
well,
Abbie.
this was a nice show. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Let's just take a minute of silence. Layla can say whatever she wants for a few
Yes,
minutes.
get it out, lady.
So I don't know what's going on with my mic. I can hear myself on my mic. When I first entered the room with Chaney, she heard me, but I couldn't hear her. So I used a different browser, I guess. And yeah, so I got my brother's computer, used the mic on here, used the camera on my phone, and here I am. I figured it out.
Yay. Well, real quick, can you just do a mic check?
Oh yeah.
That was cute.
That was terrible.
No, it was good because you didn't pause. You just did it.
You just did it that
Yeah.
time. We'll take what we can get.
Yep.
Love you guys.
So, what do you think about Andrew
you
Tate?
too.
We're gonna fly through some subjects just because you had to sit silent. What do you think about Andrew Tate and his brother right now?
Just paid shills. They're paid to say whatever they want. Not whatever they want, what they're told
Whatever
to say.
they want, right? Yeah.
What do you think about Alex Jones?
Same.
What do you think about RFK Jr. right now?
I like the idea of him teaming up with Trump, mainly because of the whole, the jibbity jabs and not being for them and like really trying to expose the big pharma industry. So that's why I feel like this is a good team, because we originally knew Daddy Trump, to be against it until they attacked him for being against it. So I like that idea, mainly for big pharma.
Did you all see my Maria's post earlier about like I want to call RFK them they because him and his worm.
Oh, yeah, like it's the only one of the pronoun them they because
Yeah.
RFK, remember when that story came out about him a few months ago where he had a worm inside his head?
Yeah,
Yeah,
A dead worm?
I thought it was.
and I
Quite
wonder
funny.
if you'll get Larry David up on Team Trump.
Well, you know what's so interesting?
think
I
so.
think in a really weird way, if you think about it, Larry David was the first person to wear the MAGA hat in Hollywood. He put it on an episode because he realized like he got all this like grace and like he doesn't really like to talk to people. Certain people like the bikers when they drove by him, they let him in traffic. Like all this stuff he realized started to happen to him when he wore a MAGA hat.
It's like
That was a funny episode. But RFK's married to his wife in the show.
Cheryl
Right.
Hine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like this to me. But I'm a huge Curb fan as far as Church of Hollywood go. What were you
Me
gonna
too.
say? Um,
It's a funny show. And you can notice if you look at the characters that are in the background, like just the extra characters, they're all famous now. They're either went into The Office or they went into It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
We're gonna scroll over to Instagram real quick at mymaria777, and it's this post right here that Abbie was talking about, and it says, I always use the they them pronouns when referring to RFK Jr. because I'm talking about both him and the worm. And one of the things that My Maria will be on during prime time to talk to us about Vril specifically. Let's see if I can scroll through it like this. So
Oh my
RFK
gosh,
Jr.
right, the
says
Vril.
doctors found a dead worm in his brain, and then the parasite pill.
And like the Matrix, how they got the worm in them.
In the movie The Faculty, if you've ever seen it.
You know what's interesting?
What?
Florida is actually going through some weird water thing, tap water. So they're warning people to be careful with the tap water because apparently 3 people died in Florida. One in a sauna because they breathed in the vapor, and parasites filled up in his lungs.
What, in the sauna or in a steam room?
Steam room, sauna, ain't that the same?
No, it's probably the steam room.
No, I think it was a sauna, personal sauna.
That's wild.
So they're just warning people to just weigh off the tap water.
And because do they know like what it is? Is it like a parasite?
Yeah, like birds.
It's the Illuminati worm. And there's also the EEE. You hear about the EEE?
That's
No,
the
what?
sound a dolphin makes.
That's how lesbians talk to each other in sonar.
So
Very Michael Jackson.
the xenomorph, which is the alien in Romulus and all that, the alien head, the H.R. Geiger alien head, it's a dolphin.
It is kind of dolphin looking.
It's
It's like a dolphin
The alien
dick
is a damn dolphin.
vagina.
Mm-hmm.
It is a weird. The slickness of it though is dolphin specific.
I think there's something up with xenomorph, xenophobia, and
Zens, those little
Zens,
things that all.
Yeah, Zens. The alt-right loves the Zens.
Wait,
and
what do you mean
xenophobia.
Zen? What do you mean by that?
They're like tobacco packets.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of that before.
Like, it's like they used to have bandits. Remember that way back in the day, where when people do like bandits in their mouth instead of
It's
like actual chewing
snuff,
tobacco.
but
yeah,
you don't
but
put
they're
it
doing these
directly
little
in.
pouches called Zens now. Like
I did it for years before it was cool.
You made it cool.
No, I didn't make it cool at all. I don't make anything cool.
Yeah, I like tobacco.
I would like to
smoking
get.
cigarettes. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd like to get a pipe.
I want a long pipe too, like to just smoke my weed out of. I'll like, let me
Sherlock
ponder what
Holmes
you
out of
guys
it.
are talking about.
I just want to like with like the sticky tobacco, and then you just like get you puff on it, and then you become intelligent.
I was about to bring up something medical, and then I was just like, just don't. So I'm gonna wrap it back in. I was gonna be like, do you guys want to hear something that's gonna get us in trouble on YouTube if I bring it up? And then I was like, don't say it.
No, do it, but do it in code.
I can't.
Schmack,
Okay. You know how we won't even have to
And
say
don't put
that.
the words
Yeah,
together.
we're never gonna put that. You know how like SIDS and SADS, like sudden infant death syndrome, is also probably okay.
Yeah, related.
I was on with Ricky on Ripple Effect. I don't know when the episode will come out, but we just talked a lot about the medical industry because I talked about my journey. I haven't talked to Ricky in a while, and so my cancer thing came up about last year, and then we just got heavy into the medical industry. And then he blew my mind. He told me that he had a doctor on that did all these studies on baby shaking syndrome, and that like the way that the blood pooled in the head and everything, and that these doctors had studied, one doctor specifically, all children that were involved in car accidents, so any of them that had bleeding to the brain also had neck injury all the time. So that he theorized after all these studies that if these kids were to have bleeding in the brain, they'd also have neck injury too. So this was being declared at the hospital like, up, this baby died of baby shaking syndrome. When really, so not only is it probably something we're not allowed to talk about because we'll get pulled down, but now just think like we're in a loving relationship and we have a precious little baby. Now, immediately in the hospital, in one moment, both of us think the other shook our baby, or our moms that are there think we shook our baby, or our community think we shook our baby. All this hospital think we shook our baby. And like, we both know we didn't, but we don't trust the other now. So our relationship inevitably falls apart. Like, think of how nefarious this is past just the baby dying. And it all probably due to with stuff we're not allowed to talk about because we'll get taken down. Again and again and again.
It's sad. I knew like teenagers who had a baby, when because I was like from a small town in Nevada that everyone like the highest teen pregnancy rate in the nation. I want to say.
Oh my gosh, you're from Nevada too.
Yeah, I am.
Did we talk about that already?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
You guys probably went to college together, like Summer and Thomas.
In Vegas, it was the norm to have a babysitter, like daycare center in the middle school and the high school.
Yeah. Well, I was up in northern Nevada, so I'm Reno area, but same idea. Like so many people, like this girl. She was a freshman when I was a senior. She was on her third baby by the time she was a freshman. It's wild.
It boggles my mind how many moms, when you call them out, oh my God, my baby all of a sudden just got autism or whatever the case is. And I'll give them some information and they're like, prove it. I'm like, hello.
They prove that's not
just
true.
Logically,
Yeah.
think about it. You have a newborn baby, but you want to,
I talked to a woman for real who her face was like this. And she said, this is real life. I'm in a group I found online. All these women, we're all the same. We all have the same exact symptoms. All this happened to us. We all had to have the same weird surgery because of clotting, and we all got a stroke at the same time. And we're all going through this together, and we can't figure out why.
Do you think it's like more so than just like what we think it is? Do you think it could be even bigger than that?
Yeah, I think it's from more than just that one. I think they've been doing this to themselves.
Because that's what she's saying with the shaken baby syndrome is that like they get those the day that they're born, and then when they're 2 months old, and then 4 months old, and it's not just one, they get multiple. Like I think it's really just one or two at the hospital, but after that it's multiple every time. And so if you think about it, like that's shaken baby syndrome would look like what? A brain aneurysm in an adult?
Yep.
I can't tell you how many TikToks I've seen of like these little babies just sudden death.
Yeah.
Or SIDS or this or that. I'm like, how, guys? Think about it. Did you just vaccinate your child?
The two changed couples that I know.
The word of the day.
I wish we had slime that dropped like Nickelodeon and it just felt like the one word you can't say, and then you got slimed.
I'll be right back.
One teenage couple, the man went, or the boy went to jail for like shaken baby syndrome or shaken baby, and then the other teenage couple, one of them, they lost one to SIDS.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something was not right in that series, right?
Yeah, they don't tie 2 and 2 together. Like, I just sent my child to the doctor. What happened? What did I give him? And then all of a sudden, 2, 3 days later, your child is no longer with you, but you don't know why. But they tell you why, and you believe it.
Yeah. She's
It's perfectly healthy. Little baby goes to the hospital. That's a real tweet from DJT. And it goes longer than that, but I won't say it because we'll probably get pulled down off the YouTube.
Yeah, we will.
But this is why we're going to have Lodge 1202, and you guys will be able to find us on Wednesdays. So we're going to come in primetime hot, and then you'll be able to find us in other places so that we can say all the words we're not allowed to say. Yeah.
It's going to get juicy.
It's going to get wet. Anyway.
It's moist.
Yeah. So we talked about DJT, and we talked about Kennedy, and we talked about what else has happened in the world this week? The Tate brothers, the DNC.
Something's wrong with some of the men in India lately. Apparently, there was a gang rape of a doctor who was trying to expose this trafficking ring that was going on in the hospital. And she was gang raped to the point where, I mean, her pelvis was shattered. She had over hundreds of bite marks all over her body. I mean, she was unrecognizable. I don't know how many grams of semen they found in her body, but like, you could say half a glass worth. And they had one person in custody.
Gross.
Yeah. A little girl, 8 years old. Her spine, she was essayed so hard that her spine popped out of her back. And sand
this is
and
horrid.
cement was shoved down her mouth so she wouldn't scream.
Where
There's too much of
where
this
did you
going
find
on.
this?
All on TikTok. All on TikTok.
I think that's called the Aristocrats.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane, and it pisses me off.
That is horrid.
Like,
that is like
are we
disgusting.
living in, like the 1200s? Last I checked, this was 2024. Like, aren't we so past this barbaric like behavior with like war and hate and rape and I'm better, you're better? Like, what the fuck? What's going on?
That same energy is what Donut was talking about on X. It's like heating up and heating up and heating up. You feel everybody picking their tribes and picking their gangs and picking their colors and picking their like.
Everybody's shaken out to like extremes. Like, okay, I'm picking this side. Let's go to war.
Don't you feel like they're turning up the magic though right now? Like the spell, the broadcast.
Very demure.
Oh yeah, what is that? You know,
let's talk about that spell that you sent us.
You sent that, dude. I never seen it before anywhere on my algorithm ever. You sent it to me. It's everywhere. I hear songs of it now.
What are you talking about?
I'm very demure. I'm so cutesy. Look at how I brush my hair. I'm very considerate, very mindful, very demure. And I'm like,
you don't know this. I'm gonna find the demure.
Yeah.
But there's a law.
It's like a gay guy.
Vocabulary definition, and then there's a regular definition. There's something not very demure about this demure.
Oh.
Very mindful, very demure. And everybody's copying it. But this is, I just want to show you a picture of the man who started the freaking trend. And it's everywhere. And this is why I don't believe that we pick pop songs. This is why I don't believe we pick celebrity, even down to the Alex Jones, because this is the biggest celebrity on the planet right now.
Oh, who's this?
She's very demure. She's mindful. She doesn't do like those other girls. She wears a little bit of perfume, just a little here and just a little here, because she's demure and mindful. Like, it's everything is about her being demure and mindful.
I like that.
It is annoying.
It's a spell, though.
It's a spell. It's weird that a man's doing it too.
It's a dude?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
and identifies as a woman, but they don't know what a woman is.
Demure.
Very demure, very
So
mindful.
this is the new like Octua.
Yep,
Yes.
exactly like it. This is the exact same thing. It's like Bernie Mittens.
What is the law definition of demure?
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking up the etymology of it, but the law definite, the Black's law definition of it. Let me see.
D. This is when it's like, what is demure?
Demure. It's
Maturus, which
demure.
means ripe or mature. The word demure was first because you know what? They want a whole bunch of kids walking around saying, I'm demure, which means ripe and mature.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the whole PDF thing that is like being pushed right now by like a bunch of
I'm mindful.
influencers.
Sick fucks?
I'm mindful,
Right.
ripe and mature.
Yeah, sick fucks. Influencers.
So
Like,
I'm being intentionally ripe and mature.
that's wow.
That's what she's saying.
Demure. Now, calm.
I'm not even shocked. To
Well, that's
take that
Demure.
word.
because you're demure.
Or
Is that where
old
murder
French
comes from?
words
Myrrh?
myrrh or mure, which also mean grave or mature.
MERS.
First time I ever heard that word was the nanny, like the Fran, whatever. She was like,
Fran
doing this little
Drescher.
pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
Mulan
I'm
does
very demure. I'm carrying my little demure.
Do a Fran
purse."
Drescher laugh.
Mr. Sheffield. No, it's nasally. It's more nasally.
This is how I do a lot of. I've realized I can get every girl to do a Cher impression if I
You know-
just
Oh
have
my
her do an
God.
Elvis impression, and it just makes me laugh to have women. They'll be like, "I can't do Cher," and I'll be like, "Yes, you can. Like, sing 'Love Me Tender,' but do it like Elvis."
Shane, you know what's crazy? You
What?
mentioned Fran Drescher, and I mentioned Fran Drescher today with
Weird.
my customers.
Really?
So
I
weird.
brought her up, but yes.
I didn't.
This
So weird.
this
Because she's
demure.
very demure.
This demure, you Google demure now, right? Which meant something like ripe or mature, demure. You look it up, she pops up for the meaning of that. So this
I
is like
told you.
this is like
Yeah,
that-
so this is the thing with Google too, is what came up last week for demure that they're burying with this.
yeah, or just long-term strategy. Like you look up Bohemian Grove, and then you get famous boxers with Illuminati tattoos talking
Yeah.
and making it look crazy, right? When it's a real thing, you know. Yeah, but what did come out like yesterday or last week before this late? I don't
What
even
does
know.
this sound like? Demure. What does this sound like backwards?
Murder.
Demure. Yeah, like what's the anagram?
Rooted. Like uridite.
Anagram.
You're like, what?
Demure. I don't even like saying that word.
I'm,
It was like how
gotta say like
Emilio is
Fred,
fun to
demure.
say. Demure isn't. Yeah, you have to say it like in a New Yorker
Very
accent.
demure.
I'm so
Very
demure.
Yeah.
Very
But it seems like
mindful.
you should like cry about it. Like you'd be, I'm so demure, Charlie. Like that's my whole character. She's like flushing cocaine down the toilet.
It's weird too because the word seems like it would be problematic because it implies like a docile, submissive, sort of like position, right? Like demure is being reserved and held back, and implying that that's what like a proper lady would do. A proper lady would never speak out, never draw attention. That's kind of what demure is wrapped up in a word, but it's gonna be. You guys can take it back. You can have it back.
It's like submissive. It's like dom sub stuff.
It's like a classy version of submissive, like submissive
Yeah,
for the sake
like,
of
yeah.
society. Like you're willfully buying into it, and that makes you classy.
I'm
Like when you
demure.
eat,
Impotent.
you
I would
eat
never
the-
be I never ever, it would not be in a word if I listed 1,000 words to describe me. Like, it would take so long to get to demure. It does sound like
Yeah.
in Back to the Future when Biff runs into the back of the truck, a whole bunch of demure falls in it. It does sound like that. Everybody in the chat had good, like, if you like demure, like it's like murder. It kind of has that, but then like demiurge.
Demi Moore.
You know what's
Demi
interesting?
Moore. I'm Demi Moore. Oh my gosh. We should start that. You just did. We should all copy it and do the, instead of what is she? I'm mindful. Like I'm Demi Moore. I'm something
Demi
else.
Moore.
But I'm Demi Moore. I'm mindful. We should all start copying her. But we should all start painting double chins on ourselves and 5 o'clock shadows.
Oh, we need to just make the meme. Let's put the meme out.
Yeah, like I just think we need to put 5 o'clock shadows on ourselves when we mock a man who's mocking us.
You know how
like
to do
we
that?
need to start
It's
mocking the
easy.
man back.
Yeah.
You just get a cork, right? Like a wine cork. You burn it, and then you just do this with the wine cork, and it'll look great.
This is what we all need
I
to
don't
do.
know any drinks
for-
wine anymore. I mean, I'm sure I do, but
I was about to be like, I don't know anyone, and then I have a rack full of wine bottles. I know people that drink wine still.
I don't.
It's not me. It gives me a little bit of a headache. I can't have nitrates.
Yeah, wine that takes way too long to drink.
I
It's
don't
a
know,
waste
it
of
goes so pretty
time.
soon.
I like wine buzz. I don't mind
Me
it,
too.
but it does give me a headache.
A wine buzz. It is the one of the funner buzzes.
It
as far
is.
as alcohol goes. Wine and one of my faves is champagne, but it gives me a wicked headache. I have the best time though. It makes me feel bubbly. I mean, granted,
early on.
this is like a decade ago was the last time I got champagne drunk.
The last time I got champagne drunk, I was 10.
Oh my gosh. At a wedding or something?
No, at home.
Wow.
Could you pray over a pig and could it be kosher?
Well, I asked the rabbi about it, and so he did a very good story about it. He was just like, this guy, because he hated being Jewish, so every like Shabbos or whatever, or holiday, he would go get some pork. And then the rabbi was like, "Oh, it's good because you're still celebrating. You're just celebrating with pork or something." I think
you're still doing it.
I think
With
it's
Muslims. Oh
no. What's up?
no, go ahead, finish.
Oh no, so it's unkosher. Probably because it's a human. Who knows? I don't know. But Asia eats it.
I think so.
It's the cloven foot.
So
Or whatever.
for
Cloven
Muslims,
foot?
it's like no. But
Right.
if you're in dire need and
Mhm.
there's no other source of food
Right.
and it's a survival thing, yes, you can.
Right. Right. I think that's the
And it's
same
like-
for the Jews too.
Yeah.
Isn't that pretty interesting though?
They're so much alike. They should just get along. I don't
Christians
know.
are just slurping up the pork, and Muslims and Jews are like, no
I
ma'am.
know. What is that? It's like
It
maybe
has
it's
to.
with the pork industry. The like, okay, we don't have enough pork to go around.
I agree with you with the human thing. I think that in the experiment of like, is it chimeras? What's that word? I can
Chimera. Yeah.
Chimera.
Chimeras.
In the world of that, they are
Chimeras.
mixed. They took human DNA and mixed it and they played with it. And I really think pigs were one, kangaroos were one, and dolphins were one.
Oh, for real? They be eating the dolphin too.
And look at kangaroos.
They look like humans.
Kangaroos
sorta, when
look
they
like if
stand
you
up.
made a horse and a human have a kid. It even
Yeah.
has a partial womb.
Yeah, that's,
See,
they box saga that.
the reason why Christians allow it though is that because it's totally a part of the Old Testament. You're not supposed to eat like pig or snake or a lot of things. But Peter was sitting down and he kept having this vision of like the Apostle Peter, of like a blanket being laid out before him, and it was a bunch of unclean foods. Like, I don't think it was necessarily pork, but I mean, it was just animals that you're not supposed to eat. And he kept saying, "Hell no, I'm not eating that," and he kept getting shown that he was supposed to eat it. And he was like, "It's unclean. I would never put that in my body." And he heard God pretty much say that nothing I put before you is unclean.
Oh, yeah, and also
Then he
like
gave him a jar of piss.
also there's no reason for that dietary law. So it's like, why?
I don't know. There's something about like I think it's more parasitic. And then also in the Bible, I brought up that one time, and I don't ever remember who it is, where all the demons get cast out into the pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are Legion.
Legion. Yep.
Yeah, so sometimes it makes me think, like, what about if pigs are holding demons in ways like they've just been cast out, like all these pigs, and they're like, we're not supposed to eat them.
Well, when
That's
you
why
think
wild
about
boar
it,
are so scary.
they're like a shell. They don't sweat, so they have this like skin, this thick skin. It's almost like a shell. So it is a good vessel for it to just, you know.
It's like what Prince
That's
Andrew
why
is
they're
made out of.
salty.
And they
What?
get sunburnt. Like, so do they have melanin in them if they get sunburnt, Thomas?
I would assume that when you see like a wild boar that has like the black spots, I assume that would be melanin, because melanin essentially is like just a dark pigment.
And is that just a gathering of adrenaline?
That's one way that it synthesizes, yeah, but I don't know. That's a great question. Are the black spots melanin, and does that melanin come from adrenaline?
And then I would also wonder, then it would make me question polar bears' tongues and why they're purple. And something with like the chow tongue, how they say that is something from polar bear, that they have that purple tongue. But it makes me wonder if it's something to do with like adrenaline and staying warm during a different time.
Well, don't they also test schmeans on pigs to see which ones will kill and which ones won't? Like
And
where
I
the
think a
kill
human
closest-
heart,
Probably.
Yeah.
like I think the pig heart is like closest to the human heart.
Have you seen the photograph of like it zoomed in on a pig eye and then a human eye right
Unreal.
next to it? It's so creepy. Well,
I'm gonna pull it up.
That's what everybody always says. Theory of evolution, we evolved from monkeys, but we are, one chromosome off from being a pig. And that's why I
for
think it
real?
isn't clean. Yes.
Just one, and we taste like them too. Not that I know or anything. That's just what I heard in the movie.
Yeah. Stay in line.
And we also come from worms, according to the mythology of Darwin.
I don't know about Darwin.
No, he's super sauce.
I'm trying to pull up a pig's
He-
eye
and,
and
like,
human
he-
eye.
And there's so much like evidence that he was wrong that like scientists just don't bring it up anymore. They just continue like, let's move on.
I had to look this up because I want to make sure it's right. So melanin will synthesize from adrenaline as it oxidizes, but that's usually only outside the body. It's not very typical, and usually melanin in the body is created through a completely different biopathway.
Okay.
It looks like a human eyeball.
It really
so
does.
weird.
It looks like Donald Trump's eye.
I'm definitely not going to be eating any pork.
Ew.
Bro, did we pull up the sheep's head fish on a previous episode? That still freaks me out so much.
I'll pull it up right now since we're here.
No, don't pull up. Are you talking about the sheep? How the genitalia is similar?
No. It's the teeth. They have human freaking teeth, and it's a fish. And it looks so much like Photoshop or someone was playing around. It's not. Like, these are legit. This is
That's real?
Yeah, bro. This is a
What the
real
fuck?
fish called a
Wow, those are some
cheekbone
nice
fish.
teeth. Those are
Yeah.
nice.
These are serious genetic experiments. I swear to God. I would even say pig, or we are. I don't know, but
Look
Look
at
at
this
that.
one.
Oh, that one's
Grill.
okay. Well, that one might be
it's got a grill.
Photoshop.
Dude, that's weirdest. That's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. That's crazy.
Right?
What the fuck?
Let's
And
see.
I mean, when I see this, and I know that not everyone thinks that, but like, those are my teeth, bro. Like whatever process like had this fish develop teeth that look like that.
Bro,
I
that's
feel like my teeth are the result of the same process.
Bro, I wonder if like you Frankenstein this with a sheep and a pig. I bet you come up with a human.
I feel like there needs to be a song called "That Bitch Has a Sheep's Head Mouth," and it has to be about Kamala Harris laughing.
She's giving too much teeth.
Yeah, like Kamala Harris laughing like a sheephead fish.
Bro, so does that thing like it's not like a piranha. Piranhas have teeth.
Like those are the type of like we're omnivores, so that's more like
Yeah, what does that
us.
thing eat? Yeah, that's a good.
Those are incisors. So incisors are meant for cutting and pulling. So it's probably meant for cutting and pulling vegetation, and then molars would be for grinding.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then when you see like a piranha, they're almost, I wouldn't say those are canines, but like their
They
entire
got
mouth
little
is
tiny,
canines,
yeah, like little tiny
which is for
razors.
shredding and ripping and
canines are the vampire looking things.
yeah.
And so we have those, and we got 4 of those, right?
If you're a vampire,
We're all like,
Yeah.
Don't you got 2 down below?
Uh-huh.
Here and here.
You just got just 2. So maybe we're supposed to eat just a little bit of meat and then the rest vegetables and fruits.
We're
Like,
supposed
maybe
to
that's how
eat
you-
very
like a proper pig. Let's like,
demi-moorish, you know. Use utensils, not cut into it with your teeth. Bite into it.
like pigs don't want to lay in mud. They would lay in a swimming pool. It's just that dirt holes get muddy.
Yeah.
And mud helps you keep away the sunburn.
And mosquitoes, maybe.
And mosquitoes. That's the number one dumb thing, everyone. If you ever find this and you're ever on a Survivor show, any place you go, dig a little deep and there's mud to cover your skin with to protect you from bugs. I see all these people just shredded and none of them ever have mud on their legs. They're just torn apart with mosquitoes and I'm like,
So you rub the mud all over you, and then they don't. That's a good ass.
yeah, it
idea.
dries on you.
Make
And
it
so
like
they can't get through it.
yeah.
It's usually thick enough they
Like a
can't
shell.
get through. So you can also sleep at night. So a lot of these people, I'm like, so they know how to start a fire and they know what berry to eat and not eat, and they know how to grab it. But all of them are just shredded with bugs. Some of them so bad by the end they can't stay long enough. But
are we talking
none
about
of them-
Naked and Afraid?
any of those
Yeah.
shows though, none of them ever cover themselves with mud. They're all just itching their legs raw. And I'm like, you guys are
Yeah.
all on a place where, if not by the beach, walk a little inland somewhere your shoes or feet got stuck in the mud. Cover yourself with that.
I would have done that just because I know I would have been one of those people eaten alive. Like the bugs would keep me from winning
That's what them zombies do. They put the blood, and then you can walk through all the zombies, and they don't touch you.
So why don't mosquitoes like beaches? Because they're never on the beach.
No, ever.
Ever.
And mosquitoes only like certain types of blood.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like my blood because I don't have the good blood.
See, and I thought it was like
They don't
I've
like
heard
me
it
either.
theorized that they only like certain blood types, but I don't think that's it. It's got to be some pheromone or something.
It's probably because my sister and mom are the ones who get the mosquito bites, and I don't get them at all. So that's probably a pheromone thing.
Yeah.
I never get harassed by mosquitoes ever. My brother gets torn apart by mosquitoes. But if I'm on the beach, no-see-ums will attack the shit out of me. Like, no-see-ums are the worst. I'm like, these little tiny mosquitoes, these little man-eaters. Yeah, and you can see them. So I hate the name.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Those little tiny gnats that bite you on the beach.
What about
It's only like one season out of the year. There's like a gnat biting season when we don't have enough winds on the beach and it gets all stale. The gnats are like, hi, and they'll chew you
had
up.
to do with that.
what is a sea monkey?
Like
It's
a little
krill. It's freeze dried or dehydrated krill, I believe.
What is a krill?
Krill's like a little
Sounds like your new
microscopic
gang name.
shrimp.
So they come back to life after they're freeze dried.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're freeze dried, but yeah, they're dehydrated, and if you just add water to them, then they come back to life. They go dormant essentially.
So they're alive, though. You
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, they're alive.
Even when they're frozen.
Yeah.
Are
Brine
they?
shrimp. Yeah, that's it. Brine shrimp.
I was like, because I used to feed brine shrimp to my. I would buy frozen brine shrimp to feed to my saltwater fish.
Yeah, they just figured out
But
a
they
way to
didn't seem like they were
sell you
alive.
fish food as its own food, like its own fish.
Yeah.
Could we sell something like that?
We could start like selling like mealy worm like pets.
I actually
right?
have I have a few $1 million ideas over the last week. Here's 2 of them. Maybe they exist already. This is what a lot of my $1 million ideas, they already exist, but I just throw them out there, run with it. Somebody out there, if one of these ideas, if you steal it with the gumption, just when you're sitting on your yacht one day, you're like, I'm going to give that broad a super chat. So 2 ideas. 1, why does Easter egg hunting have to be just exclusively why we're mixing this weird holiday that doesn't exist around Christian stuff that doesn't exist? It's just like a screwy time. But the idea of kids being able to hunt for something in weatherproof containers, so you could put poems in it, you could put keys to different things, whatever you fill it with, candy, whatever you fill it with for your kid would be what you fill it with. But if it was weatherproof, so if they found them now or a year from now, it would be like little, and not eggs, but the shape is kind of good, but they were like little treasures. So you could like put 20 in your yard. If you had kids over, they could go on a hunt and entertain themselves for a moment outside. I think somehow an idea like this, $1 million idea. But here's the other one. A lawn chair or like a beach chair that has telescopic legs, all 4 of them. I want all 4 legs to be able to get longer and shorter and different sizes, because sometimes you're sitting on rocks, or sometimes like one of your legs sinks all the way into the beach. And
There should be like a hydraulic system in it though too, so you could just like lift up.
You could drop it like it's up. That would be pretty ball, especially if you could also put like an inflatable sort of like platform under it, and you can go out in the water and like start flexing.
Oh, that would be dope. And then you could just float down river and just be like.
I got some $1 million idea. I got $2 million ideas I'm willing to
2
share.
for 2.
I never pursued
All right,
them.
Sharks. This is like a we should have had an intro music to this.
All right, here we
if
go.
anyone has a $1 million idea from now on, we need an intro part for this, and they're gonna be like, I have $1 million idea, and we're gonna bring it to the Sharks, the intro music, and then we're all gonna judge it.
That's dope.
All right, first one is flavored edible tape. You ever had a taco and like you're eating it and it splits down the middle and you're like, I guess I got tostadas now. But what if there was a tape that was strong enough, edible, you could just stick anything that fell apart, burritos that fall apart, like raviolis or like lasagna.
You could have some hot sauce and some like Italian flavored. You could make them all seasoned so they could just go with the meal.
That's one. I think that one could be.
It's good.
Everyone would have it in their kitchen. Everyone would have this edible tape. Okay, the other one is flavored air for people on like the extreme diets. You would just go huff apple pie, and it would just
breatharians out there.
The breatharians.
I love that idea. It's sort of like a vape, but with no smoke.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like you could just be like, damn.
And they'd sell it at the grocery store right next to like the sour cream and onion chips. There would be a sour cream and onion bag of air that you just huff.
And you could squeeze it because it's already filled with air. So it'd be so nice to just have a little tube at the top, and you'd go, yeah, you'd be like, oh, this is amazing.
Is this like the nitric, whatever it's called, that everyone?
Yeah, actually, someone has made flavored nitrous.
Yeah.
You get, like, cookies and cream nitrous and like Skittles nitrous. It's a great idea. Great idea.
Well, shout out to Edison. Tesla was a little bitch, and like Edison really took the idea, made it happen. Tesla was just
Something not to get off, but you said Tesla and like all in my folder of the Chicago World's Fair because something I like send it to Donut. Like everybody out there, probably if you have my phone number, if I have yours, you just get this random like feverish dream sounding rant of whatever it is that I feel like I have to send to you to get it out of my head. But one of the things that I sent to Donut, but then after I sent it, it re-haunted me, was the Ferris wheel. So
okay.
the Ferris wheel, you guys, I think it is such a piece of something they use for their symbology from like eye in the sky. They love this. They built the Ferris wheel was first built for the World's Fair to like be like, oh, the Eiffel, they wanted to out Eiffel. So they wanted to build a feat that was better than the Eiffel Tower. So they built the Ferris wheel by this guy named Ferris. So when you look at the size of this thing, like each one of the carts is like the size of an apartment. Like out there, you can totally geek out and find the first Ferris wheel. I keep wanting to do a post on it, but it's just like it gets so big. I need to just be like, screw it. I'm going to do a minute and 15 seconds, however much I can squeeze in a rant in whatever order it goes, and we'll see. Because I just have to get it off my head. But the size of this thing, the idea that they said they built all these structures in 2 years time, all the best architectures in the world are the best architects in the world come there to do this Ferris wheel is there. They even had a people walk that went all the way around the entire thing. It took 30 minutes, even though it went like 3 miles an hour on the inside ring, 6 miles an hour on the inside ring, 3 miles an hour on the outside ring. It still took 30 minutes to get around. That's how big this thing was. So it's like they had all this huge Ferris wheel, and it was all just put up with electricity for them to destroy after it. I don't believe that. Like there was something else. That's where I give like the ancient antiquitech idea. There was something else going on with free energy and Ferris wheels, like Zeppelins. Zeppelins would park at like the top of an Eiffel Tower and be able to pull energy out of the ionosphere. The Ferris wheel, I think, with magnets, once it started to move, it stayed forever moving. And that helped the like whole generator of everything with the free energy go. So I think everywhere that you would find these free energy sections, you'd also find Ferris wheels. I think they were something else to ancient antiquitech, like castles and like mercury moats underneath. I think there's something with the Ferris wheel. Anyway, that was my rant about that I had to add to it because I was like, it started to touch to all these other ideas that of Tataria and stuff where I never usually take Ferris wheels all the way that far back. Usually I just stay with Travis Scott, London or like Paris, the London eye in the sky. But when you take it all the way back to like Tesla, it's like, holy shit, this is like one of those ancient technologies they were using.
Well, because even like, have you ever seen a mill in real life where you see like the big wood wheel and it like goes into the water and it
That's what I was thinking about, a paddle boat.
That like, but like, because we used to go camping at this one place and there was this old mill there and you see the wheel spin in the water. It was really freaking cool. It still worked. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I would think about mills today, so it's weird that you freaking even brought that up because I remember always wanting to ride on that. I was like, Mom, can I like go try to hop on that and like ride it like a Ferris wheel?
Like Tesla technology, taco tape is also 2 T's.
When you think about how magical energy is, even just moving is a form of energy. So even just us expressing our feelings is a form of energy, and they can loosh that and absorb it. So any type of movement, whether it's like Ferris wheel or I don't know, the windmills, that type of just regular motion, a lot of
I've coined a term for this. I've coined this and I call it kinetic loosh. I akin it all the time to pulling a slot machine handle. because there's something, it's not just you winning or losing. There's something about this energy too. Or like walking to nowhere on a treadmill, just walking to nowhere. It's kinetic loosh. They have you doing something that I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's energy in motion. Like they're feeding off you in the ionosphere. You almost wonder if they can get, where they're like, oh, look at during 9/11, if there was an energy weapon used, there happened to be a hurricane right offshore for them to pull the energy from. What sometimes if gathering of people are those same storms. So like a Super Bowl, they could just pull energy into the ionosphere because there's all this gathering of not just people now, phones in their pocket.
It exists.
Someone said it's new agey. It's not new agey. It's called inertia. Inertia is energy. That's
And
what it is.
bioenergy field that we live in as well. It's everybody, you walk by someone with a bad vibe, you could fucking feel the vibe, because it's bioenergetics.
And every single religion around the planet walks into, like, usually when they're higher ups, they walk in with sage because they clear the room of bad energies. It's not like there's some things that I feel like have been put into a new age category, but they're really the oldest of like
It's always been the
sacred
traditional
teachings. Like we'd be like, oh, thinking of the way your building's built, that's new age. You could just teach in a box. But actually, the way that a beautiful building and being in nice silks as opposed to plastics, all of it matters.
You
It's
got
not
silk
new
on?
agey.
You wearing some silk?
Oh my gosh, I wish I grabbed it. Like this
Oh, okay.
Versace right here.
You're like,
This
yeah,
Versace.
when you dip in that silk.
But no, I think it really does. Like all this stuff that people, it's like all the oldest religions, thou shalt not wear mixed fabrics.
Yo,
Like
you know where silk comes from?
worms.
For real?
Yeah.
It comes from worms?
Yeah, silkworms.
Now that's an interesting topic.
Vril worms. Is there vril silk?
Is it like it comes out of them like
like
spider web?
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly how it
Why
works.
do they make spider web? It's too soft.
Isn't it ironic how
Sticky. It's too
we
sticky.
would rather pay hundreds of dollars for a name brand created with chemicals type of materials, and we'll laugh at the villagers for wearing skins or animal skins, just looking very
or like
barbaric.
just linen or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, look at that crazy Muslim wearing just linen, walking
And you're
in
like,
to pray.
they're wearing probably like the most
But
healthiest outfit.
and it's
Yeah.
conductive for them. It's all
It
real
is.
materials that are organic, conductive
What's
materials.
Lenin made out of?
Flax. So that's what. Okay, so that's what gets me too. Is like the whole fats and everything. Is that they push flaxseed, and how it's like good for you, and it's like it's linen.
Right.
It's not meant to be a food. It's like it's woven for clothing. It's kind of like
Flaxing on them.
yeah, it's not good for you.
Flax is not good because when you put it into water, it turns all jelly.
The same thing with like vegetable oil is made from cottonseed. We don't eat cotton. You think you should eat cottonseed?
Ever since I stopped eating like a lot of the oils, my skin issues have been much better. Not even skin, just like autoimmune
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
No,
I
but
like
there
that
is even
RFK and Trump were like, yo, we got to go after the autoimmune. I was like, oh yeah. Because I've had autoimmune issue my whole life.
I think that both of them might have children with the same
do.
issue, and that's
Yeah.
why it's so dear to their heart. But Hector says Tataria was having harp wars back then, and part of me even thinks it's not just the harp in the harp that we know, the HAARP. We're forgetting what the original harp was. It had 47 strings, and it was Pythagoras. Like it was
47 strings on the harp.
Yeah, it had perfect, and it was perfect because each string hit a tone of your body for healing. So when
And it
people
was
talk,
also made out of animal.
yeah, that's another thing. It was made out of hair. Like it was important that the harp was made out of hair, and the better hair you could find, the better harp it became.
It was made out of hair?
Yeah.
I thought it was made out of the organs of the animal.
Yeah, that was intestine, no?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe other ones. I thought each of the
because
strings.
it's organ. You're playing the organs of the animals.
I was under the impression that the organs inside the churches actually healed your organs. So that's why
Probably.
they called
Yeah.
them organs.
Al-
They were made
Also,
out of conductive perfect tones.
Yeah, that
and
was a part of
metals.
the Antiquitech they put stained glass in the windows, but the windows were supposed to actually amplify the sound and make a certain shape without the glass in it.
Yeah,
So it's
also
the
bells.
organs combined with the shape in the window.
Cymatics.
I think
Bells
the electric
and
guitar too is like electricity, that we're electric beings, right? So you mix the electric guitar, you could time travel like Bill and Ted. That's why, or like there's something up with. That's why they removed. Excellent. They removed heavy metal, like the music. Why isn't the heavy metal anywhere? It's not in movies. It's not, but they did play it with
Well,
Gojira.
vehicles aren't even made out of heavy metal anymore. They're all fiberglass, right?
I don't know. That's wild there. But yeah, there's something up with the electric guitar sounds too, with Jimi Hendrix. Just that, like, it changes. The different sounds changes our psychological brains too.
I almost wonder if we were never supposed to hear each other through microphone. And that's why all the ancient dwellings, whether they were inside or outside, you could speak in this voice and be heard to the highest rafters. Like they built their auditoriums in a way that they didn't need
For the
microphones or to
acoustics.
plug in anything.
Yeah.
And they built their churches in a way that they didn't need to plug in anything. So it makes me wonder if the electric added so much static, the same way we can kind of hear that quiet buzz on the microphones. The electric added so much static, they had to cover it with ugliness. So they were like, this is metal. This is this, because the acoustic guitar was better for a human to hear.
No, during the time when they were pulling the bells down, a lot of them were made of brass, which was a very interesting fact. The pitch of it was like a perfect pitch with the brass. A lot of people decided to take down their bells.
Who pulled down the bells?
Whoever it was
Girls.
at the time, I guess the church.
It was a big thing.
No, it was a huge thing. I didn't want to step on you. No, it was a huge thing in China. Like they literally took every single bell down out of their whole country, but then it became like this other thing in other parts of the world. But go on.
Yeah,
Say
even here. So when I guess World War One, they needed metals to make bells. People cherished these bells so much that they would dig holes so deep and hide their bells because they knew how precious it was for the human body. Like they knew there was a healing to it. So
Jay says the bells repelled the giants according to myths that the Germans.
That's why them trolls can't be
take 'em
around
down.
bells.
Oh, and then that old saying, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Well, also in Venom, I think, where he starts putting in the metal tubes and he starts ringing it, and you could see the demon kind of come off of the character.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably a demon repellent. Ding, 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 ding. Clear
Or
the air.
isn't it interesting that we get a gift as a Liberty Bell and then it never rings, it always cracks?
There's symbol to that for sure. There's something up with the sound frequencies. Have you ever done a detox off of sound? I know Abbie's son's doing the detox with talking, but like with sound. Just like, I'm not gonna listen to music, TV, nothing. Have y'all ever done that?
I have taken long drives across country or long drives where I'll sit in silence a long time.
Doesn't everything starts to sound like music?
There's retreats where people go into the darkness. It's pitch black and so quiet, and they just sit with themselves for, I guess, a week or however long they decide for themselves. And some people have a good experience and some have not so good. Like you face all kinds of things, demons, thoughts, experiences, past traumas. But I guess that silence is a good thing for you sometimes.
Yeah, I was like, stop listening to stuff for a little bit. It's really hard because I'm so addicted to consuming content. that I'm like not gonna listen to nothing. And I went to the gym, which I like to listen to music, so I'm consuming music, content, podcasts, Secret Society of Good Guys, you know. So I didn't go with the headphones throughout the whole day, and it was like I started hearing like stuff. Like I heard this person running on the treadmill. Then I go into the sauna, and you can just hear like people breathing, and they have their headphones in, and everyone's on their phone. Everyone on the phone, so there's no connection.
You probably get more aware.
It was, and then they were playing music, and then I would leave. It was like you're playing Grand Theft Auto. Like you play Grand Theft Auto, and then you hear the different sounds when you go throughout the day. It was sort of like that.
I found I was out of my environment this week and I was in a busier environment. And sometimes when I felt like my sensor, I was getting like overwhelmed a little, I found myself putting my earphones in the opposite reason I normally do. It was almost like to take out some of the outside energy for a minute. Like, but I was still in the room, but it was like a muffling of sound because now I had my controlled sound because there was too much going on. At one point, I was like, whoa.
I love that muffled sound.
You got the little sleeper thing?
Oh, for noise?
Yeah.
I've tried sound. I like talking. It's so weird. It could just be mumbled talking about anything. Really?
I do too.
It's just like I almost feel like I probably like in my own little kid brain, probably my best sleeps were like my parents having a conversation or hanging out with their friends having a conversation, like falling asleep on the couch while they were like hanging out. Those were probably my best sleeps. So like having some kind of chatter on the TV is like something I'm not interested in. I don't need to, but it can't be something I've seen before. It has to be new information.
Really?
Or I can't.
Brand new?
Yeah, it has to be a new conversation. If it's one I've already heard, it's almost like a song I'll try to start singing along to. It has to be a brand new conversation. And then I'll fade off, and any one word they'll say will make me open some silly folder in my brain that is like a school of a whole bunch of weird thoughts or different. And then once I dive into there, I can sometimes find sleep. But sleep's not an easy thing for me to come by. I think it's the superpower when people can just turn off.
Paranoid American would be working so hard today. I was just like watching his podcast, and he was on for like hours, and then he came up on here.
You know what fascinates me about the sleeping world? You know those people who like can't help it, but paraplegic? No.
Like that
where they just like knock out.
Syncope? Wait, that's one, but there's another one, not just syncope.
Where they just fall asleep?
Yeah, and they have
Abbie knows what it is.
Oh, narcoleptic?
Narcolepsy.
Yeah, there you go.
I met someone with narcolepsy.
It almost feels AI to me. Like being unplugged. That's the notion I get.
After I stopped the nicotine for 3 weeks, I've been sleeping like crazy. It's like all I do.
I think both the things, the syncope and the narcolepsy, I think both of them are schmickety schmackety injury. And I think a lot of the people that have it had to stand in line in the military and get a needle in both arms.
I'm so happy Crypto Alchemist brought up Julian from Trailer Park Boys because he's like my hero. It's like all I want to be is him. He's so calm, and he just has his cup of like, he just hangs out. He's like, look, this is what we're gonna do.
You guys, this is like a free plug for something, but it just is changing my life, and I have to tell you guys about it.
It's not a commercial time.
It is these little packets that I've been getting, and I put them in my water, and they're LMNT, element. I hate when they try to make you say silly words. But they have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Since I've been taking these and putting them in my water, I feel like I haven't been as thirsty. They're like, you know how everyone's like, put the Celt salt in your water, do this, do that. But you need other stuff besides just salt. And so since I also haven't had any migraines. And usually I never make it through a full moon without a migraine.
It's because it's the. Have you ever had the 12? What I take is the 12 salts, the 12 cell salts.
This is probably similar to that, but
Yeah, 'cause
whatever
the
it is,
sodium.
this packet is changing my life. But this is another thing I'll say about it, just for Secret Society of Good Guys. So, of the few times I'm demure, so I haven't est a lot of D's in my life, but I have sucked some dick.
Damn.
This limit, this salt in this limit salt, these little packets, that is what they taste like to me. Like, they do have watermelon flavor, and but they also taste like a party drug that I've taken in my early 20s once, called GHB. Like, that's
not a party drug. That's like a
workout drug, a DR drug. But I also think that tasted like splooge to me. But this, if you have this plain one, it's just like, oh, that's salty and weird. It's
so
thick.
funny.
That's thick and salty. But the watermelon one is so delicious to me. So, yeah, maybe you might be into it. You could put lemon in it yourself, but this is changing my life. And I'm a person that I live in migraines, you guys, like 2 times a month. They're like severe. I'm laid out, but I made it through a
And now
full
you don't
moon.
get them anymore because of that.
Yeah,
so that's
I don't
great.
get them. I just needed a little bit of salt and potassium.
There was a funny Office episode about the coconut penis flavor energy drink that they made. And then the boss drinks it and he's like, oh, I miss original because they added coconut.
Coconut water. It's thick in that way too.
Hear me out, Chaney. Watermelon flavored piss. No,
I drink watermelon.
No, but what about this? Here, like, you could make a drink like this that's a little salty. I'm like, this tastes a little like, maybe it doesn't, but I've had other females now that I'm like, hey, straight ladies, this could just be my lesbian brain because I'm fairy tale-ic for you guys. So is this? And a couple of straight ladies that I know have tried it and been like, yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about. Like, where I'm like, okay, so if this is the case with this powder, why isn't there one that's like Box Saga powder?
I was just thinking that, like a Bach boost, like a 5-hour energy, but it's just like Norwegian semen.
Yeah,
oh, bro, that
boost.
rhymes too.
Norwegian semen seems like a metal band.
Not all semen is salty though.
Can you do?
Sweet.
Well, I just in my life, I probably had a salty loads.
I like this Norwegian semen metal band idea. Can you AI metal music?
Yeah.
And
AI
Norwegian seamen, you could also have them all be Navy men.
Have you ever been to a Gwar concert?
I missed it before I guess like the main guy died from an HO. I don't even know if you can even say that, but yeah, he died from an HO. I missed it. They used to come to Orlando all the time, man.
So I've been going to them concerts for a while, and Odorous Orangus, the main singer, he was an alien from another planet. He was interviewed on Fox, and he would just jerk off on the whole crowd. And like, 'cause it was this huge alien. You got to look at the video. It sounds crazy.
He was like the theatrical version of Gigi Allen. Like if Gigi Allen met sort of like Barney or something, or like Gigi Allen met Power Rangers. That's kind of what you would get, as you'd get Gwar.
Yeah, Gigi Allen was like actually doing that.
Yeah,
and we could like they don't all have to be as salty, Layla. Some of them could have less milligrams of salt, and they could be pineapple flavored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Because
like,
some are just disgusting. Like, taste yourself, men. Like, don't put the girl through that. Like, some are funky, and then some are sweet, and then some are salty, and it's not bad. But some are just.
It's like a Goldilocks thing.
It's the food. It's the food.
Like death. The fuck. Like, literally.
Like death. What the fuck?
But it goes both ways,
Yeah.
right?
I've never ever been with a woman that smelled bad. But if she does, then she's nose blind to herself and there's probably an infection.
That's what I heard. I heard it has something to do with the food.
That too. I do think you could have too much processed food and alcohol. Alcohol sweat is disgusting on human beings in every crevice of their body.
And like when you drink the alcohol, it's poison. So you're always going to the bathroom to piss it out because it's your body rejecting it.
It's not real good. And no one is cuter on alcohol, even though it gives us a little bit of more like,
oh, really?
social,
Nobody look better on alcohol?
like they might look better to you when you're drunk, but when you're sober and looking at nobody gets cuter because they're drinking more. Like nobody's personality gets cuter when they become wasted.
Dang. I always drank alone.
That's when they always say that you're like, oh, you should go to a meeting. It's not good to drink alone.
Yeah, I would drink alone.
This is a bad thing, though. I do realize if you have a drinking problem, but you're really fun to hang out with when you're drunk, no one tells you. Like the only like really shitty drunks get like, we're all gonna have to sit down with Chaney because she's an asshole when she drinks. And we're all going to have to tell her about it. But if Chaney's a good time when she drinks, then every time, let's call Chaney. Chaney will make this turn our frowns upside down.
It's also, if you've ever met like a functional drunk, or I knew some like functional heroin addicts at Disney, but like unless they're doing something that is clearly on like some crazy path, aside from the addiction itself, but unless they're exhibiting some kind of behavior, sometimes they would like deliver, you know what I mean? And it's like really hard to criticize somebody that's constantly delivering, especially if there's like a sober person on the team that's like not delivering or performing at the same level as someone. It takes like all the wind out of the sails in order to even have that intervention to begin with.
You say functioning heroin addicts, and it's so crazy because one of the best kitchens I ever worked with in my whole life, I felt like 70% of them were all functioning heroin addicts.
Yeah.
But when rubber hit the road, like they were monsters to work with, but they were great at their jobs.
There was this, I don't think I've told this story. It's very quick story, but there was a next door neighbor that I grew up with, one of my friend's next door neighbors. And it was like a literal drug den. Like there was just always, and whatever drug you could think of was at this house. And we got sent over one day to go in and get some microdots back when those were like all the rage. And we go into this like little apartment, and there's a guy passed out on the bed. Like he was basically had been nodding that whole day. He's passed out. And the girl that's supposed to be able to get him, her wrist is swollen to like the size of her head because she tried to poke some coke into her hand and missed, and it like her whole hand swell. Anyways, she can't drive and go and get the dots, so she's like, whatever the guy's name was, Brad, whatever. And this dude came from like a straight up, like there was like a pile of vomit on the ground, like he was knocked out from heroin. He pops open, he grabs the money, he gets in his car, drives away, comes back like 15 minutes later with everything that he needed to, and just went right back onto the bed and passed out like he had never even gotten up to begin with. And like that's what I think of when I'm like a functional heroin addict. Like they can go from being completely knotted out to like, okay, there's a mission that might get me some more money to get me my next fix. And they switch on somehow. It's not like he's sober, but he just switches on because his entire body is working together to get to this goal that they're like, all the organs realize, hey, even though we're out of it, we all need to coordinate together to make this thing happen. And it's so weird to see in real time. Like
Well,
it was,
it's
yeah,
necessity though, because that's the one thing I knew about heroin addicts is that back when everybody had a house phone, they might not have power in their house, but they always had their fucking phone on. They would always pay their phone bill because
yeah,
if they were
yeah.
sick, they like you can't come down. You have to keep you'll get sick, you could die. So that was like that's a rule with like heroin addicts. They always have to be able to, yeah. So if it comes down to getting their next fix, they will do it. They have to secure that.
It is crazy that like we're all so old school that homeless people didn't have phones when we were coming up.
Yeah.
You know what's
Now they're
happening
free.
right now with ecstasy? So apparently in California, kids have been taking ecstasy, and a year into after them taking ecstasy, they Parkinson's out of nowhere. They just can't stop shaking. They're just shaking like they have Parkinson's disease, and it's like becoming a epidemic now.
Huh, I wonder how many of them got schlibbly schmabbity. I just think everything now, the more I look up everything with further it goes back, I just think they are everything is in their cures.
That, or was it
And they're
literally
trying to
like?
blame everything else, like cigarettes and Molly and you know, like
But can we
the
blame
the
it?
sun
Like,
setting at a weird time, global warming, sharks. Like, nope, it's all them.
but I'm also thinking the LSD CIA thing with the
The
city in France.
Grateful Dead. Just this alone, getting us to follow a band or even the worst. Like people that like the Dead usually only like the Dead, and then they make me want to be dead. And then I'm like, the only people that would be grateful for being dead are the people that are killed by having to listen to so much Grateful Dead. Like it's just so wild that it's
You're right, though.
and
Why
then
would they
Grateful
have lot
Dead.
numbers? Why would they have different batches, different concoctions? Everyone got
They
a
even want you to
different type
report
of.
it. Report the bad batch you got, Layla. Where and when you got it.
I never got it.
No,
Fuck
but you know
that.
how there's those sites now that we can all go to and check our pills? Like we're just doing the work for them.
And you know what's interesting? All this monkey talk. They have chimpanzee DNA in those schmeens.
And canine.
That's what we should sing it. That's what we should
Oh.
Nimrod it.
That was cool.
We should sing it like Celine Dion.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
I didn't know what to do.
I also think it's weird that Hanuman, the huge statue 2 days ago, was erected in Texas.
Yeah, and Obama carries one of them in his pocket everywhere he goes.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. And
I thought you were saying Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
Ananas.
That's
Banana.
something in the news too, by the way. She was like dubbed
Miley?
a legend by Disney this
Miley
week.
Cyrus?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this? I tried to go on there and ad blocked me. And try it again with a different one. Miley Cyrus. I don't know. You'll have to.
Hannah Montana.
Oh,
Miley
Texas
Cyrus.
gets a landmark, a 90-foot tall Hanuman. The tallest outside of India, and it's 72 foot tall. And it's the monkey god. So, like Donut was saying, it's the same statue that Obama carries around in his pocket. And then there's a movie that came out called The Monkey Man this year, and it's all about him, and also monkey pox. And I think the story.
Hannah Montana's a legend now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Hannah Montana. Yeah, so
That monkey.
Somebody
too.
needs to do the etymology on Hannah Montana with Hannah.
What were you?
Oh wow, yeah, that's a great connection. Hannah.
I just heard. That's what I thought she'd say. That they made a Hannah Montana. I thought you said Hannah Montana statue, and I was like, oh,
wow.
Wait, because the Miley Cyrus thing that just happened.
Wow, Hannah Mon. And also the show Bad Monkey came out the day.
Bad Monkey.
It was a emergency.
The monkey pox.
Oh, when I translate Hannah Montana in Albanian, it's
yes. Okay, I'm wanting this.
Montana, and the moon holds everything.
Oh.
Moon holds everything.
And it's moon is the moon key. It's the key of the moon key.
Well,
One
in
key.
our language, Hana is moon, Mon is to hold, and Dana is everything.
So Hanuman
Damn.
in India, he was like a monkey god, but he was also super tall in general. Like he was a giant.
It's the
Nephilim.
best of both worlds. Chill it out, take it slow while we rock out the show.
I don't know Hannah Montana.
Oh, I do.
Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana.
I don't know
I
anything
probably
about
watched
it.
every episode. I had kids.
And then there's the predictive programming of the sickness.
And then I like somebody putting they wrote that it's just take the K out of monkeypox and then you get what it's all about.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was
I
like,
saw a couple of
touche.
celebrities make TikToks where they're screaming in the screen, bananas, bananas. It's bananas, right? And I'm like,
BANANAS.
I just saw
It's bananas.
Chaney's monkey thing and monkeys and bananas.
Oh, and you were talking about pineapples being anana.
I've been
and then
thinking
I
about
said
that so
B
much.
anana.
Yeah,
Bananas.
banana.
Ananas.
BNANAS.
Ananas is in every language
Banana.
Except
banana,
English, the
banana.
pineapple thing.
except English.
Yeah, they did. It is a spell, the bananas.
Bananas.
This shit
It
is
is.
bananas, and you
Bananas.
feed bananas to monkeys.
I saw Gwen Stefani perform that live.
Oh my
With
gosh,
the-
and Planet of the Apes, Kingdom Planet of the Apes is out too.
I know, it's all the monkey. This is the simulacrum. This is how it works. When Joe Biden,
Chimpanzee DNA. I'm telling you, it's in the thing. It's one of the ingredients. I'm not kidding you.
that's wild. I never looked into that. That stuff scares me. Scary.
I want to be just like you. That's
Oh,
what-
Louis Prima.
That's what
Shout
I
out
think
to
of
Louis
it.
Prima.
All right. Well, do you guys have anything going on that you want to plug this week before we get on out of here?
IlluminatiComic.com.
IlluminatiComic.com.
The conspiracy cards that I've been putting on Twitter seem to be a big hit. And I've just been teasing like 2 or 3 at a time. So I'm really excited about this ongoing. And I guarantee by the time the whole set's out, there'll be an Abbie card and a Layla card and a Chaney card. Like everyone gets a card. It'll be like Oprah style. Everyone gets one.
Right. That's awesome.
You get a card. You get a card.
That's kind of
And-
funny.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
fun, but it's also we're gonna have the Da Vinci deck coming, and that'll be fun. Oh, the
excited about
that.
Medici deck.
Nice.
But what were you gonna say, Abbie? Do you have something to
Oh.
plug?
Yeah, I got an episode of One-on-One podcast that's coming out tomorrow. I was on his show. We were recorded on Wednesday, so or not
You'll be
tomorrow,
talking
Monday.
about the Medici a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, we didn't go deep into it, but yes, we did talk about it for sure.
All right, so everybody look out for that on One, the only one, the chosen one podcast.
The
Comments?
world's only living homunculologist, as far as I know.
Even though a bunch of people are trying to steal it,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like no, but you
You're-
can't.
If you're gonna come at the king, you best not miss.
I know you need a picture of Juan with just his ear shot. And it's all these other homunculologists down there.
Did you get a haircut, Chaney?
I'm always cutting my hair, but I haven't
looks
touched it
cool.
in like at least 9 days.
It looks cool. It looks
Thanks.
cool.
Thanks so much. I was gonna mullet it out, but right now I just have a tail. It is a true mohawk. That is exactly if I were to spike it, if I were to go to a proper like Misfits show, I would have a true mohawk.
I had a
But-
dream
Period.
that I was at a Misfits show last night.
Weird. I don't know why I said that out of every show. It's because we're totally everything's so synchronistic.
Are you feeling like you're not fitting in somewhere right now? Because that
Me?
is definitely
You?
wordplay. No, you dreamt about it. Yes.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I don't fit in at all. No, I feel out of my skin. I don't fit in anywhere.
Because that's your subconscious like using that as wordplay.
The Misfits and no, like the band.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
who the Misfits are. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
the
doesn't
band.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
We're walking here.
We're rocking here. So you guys, we won't be here Wednesday. We will be here Sunday. And Layla, do you have anything going on this week?
No, but I had a song idea for the word vor.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Gimme vor. Gimme vor. Gimme vor.
Oh, that's
thinking
good.
about it. Yeah.
I think I'm really gonna get into vor stuff. Like
More
I
than
really
words.
You're gonna do it.
Vor Trump.
Just to be
Apparently,
clear,
if you use the hashtag, your shit
endorsing
goes
vor.
viral.
Yeah.
That wasn't meant to be like a promotion of vor.
It's just Abbie tells us words that the kids are looking at, and then we use the hashtag to make our stuff go viral, even though if it has nothing to do with vor. Because we know all the kids are looking
I wish
it
I
up.
could use it on my page more, but I really couldn't on mine. It just doesn't work.
I know you'd have to do it after you ate a ton. And then poke your belly all the way out. And
Oh
be
my
like,
God.
I have a vor belly over here. I know. Did you
Get
guys
in
get
my
your
belly.
mustaches yet? We'll talk about it later. Anyways, Donut, do you have anything going on?
I got the Illuminati comic.com, and it's a comic that Paranoid be working on. He did this comic right here, but ours is going to be a chit track. Chit track. That's Alex Stein. I'm going to get him to autograph it. And I'm working on a lot, yeah.
I was trying to harass Alex Stein to get him to come to Bohemian Grove.
Oh, I'll get him to go if you want. I'll go talk to him. I'll have my people talk to him.
I don't need any connection between me and Alex Stein, but I appreciate it. But maybe if you lean on him too, then he'll come and play with us at Bohemian Grove.
Wait, how do you know Alex then again? You
Me?
podcasted with him back in the day, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like as long as I've known Thomas, I've known Alex. Like way back when we were all little wees. And Alex was just like, I'm going to wear a ball gag into the convenience store during mask up. And he would just play these videos. But he was also the only dude I knew that really knew as much about Hollywood as I did. And he was obsessed with Howard Stern like I was. So it was just like hanging out on late night and chit-chatting on his live and talking about Howard Stern.
He's the new Howard Stern. His show is...
That's what he's trying. Like, I think he...
I know it is. It's the funniest shit out there. And it's so politically incorrect, like freedom, like of just say whatever, kind of like how Howard's show was at that time.
He's on Glenn Beck's network now on Blaze.
Yeah.
But he's still like, he's on YouTube more of recent, like trying to like, you know, still hang out with the old school conspiracy castle. But I know he's so busy, but it would just be so fun because I just feel like the gamut of Florida and like it will be political because the Tower Gang will be there. And it's like,
oh, I'm going to try to come out there.
Yeah, I think you're on the poster.
Nice. Yeah. I'm going to have to stay with the homuncologist, hopefully, because I got to ask, you know, Juan if I could stay with him again.
It's definitely the 24th.
We were thinking of Airbnb, but we might just get hotel rooms, dependent on how far away. We might just get hotel rooms and Uber. So
yeah, it's a foreign country to me, Florida. So
yeah, we'll keep you posted. But we're gonna have a 2-day meetup, and Abbie's gonna have her 21st birthday. But you don't have to partake because it's gonna be debauchery.
Be our designated driver.
You could be the designated.
Yeah, I can drive. I could drive y'all wherever. Would do that. That'd be
okay. All right. So
I'm really good
I'm not
driver
volunteering
too.
you, but
Oh, perfect. No,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
get
if
not
you
like
want to
like
hang
them.
out,
I'm not like the Miami drivers that are all crazy.
maybe we'll get like a party van.
24, 25th, 26th.
25th
Of
and
October?
yeah, 25th.
Oh man, when is the Bohemian thing?
That's when it is. Like the 25th and 26th. It's all
Oh,
like the same time.
if I go, I'm gonna miss the BLP kosher concert.
The
You might
what?
have to catch him somewhere else.
The BLP kosher. Oh, you know what? I could catch him. He's probably gonna be. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay.
You'll have to
Thank
catch
you
him
for
on.
having me on.
Thank you for always coming to hang out, and thank you guys. We missed you last week, but we needed a week off, and we appreciate you. And we'll be here Sunday, and then look out for us Wednesday, September 4th, and it'll be a hang. So we love you, and we will see you soon. Let me see. Okay, bye.
Britney Spears, can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, making it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.